And welcome in to the midday show here on 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Kevin Cooney along with D. Lynham as we're filling in. And let's just start with the man of the hour and the moment of the hour. You know, the great part is when you go to a baseball game, you never know what you're going to see, D. Never.
This is true.
And if you
were there last night,
yeah,
you had a show.
If you went on a Thursday night when it looked like the Phillies were dead in the water after 3-0 in the first inning, you saw history, and it culminated with this. Here's Tom McCarthy's call on NBC Sports Philadelphia.
Ofer's last 20, Ofer's last 22 is his longest stretch in his career. His last hit was his 45th home run of the year against Seattle. And that one is smoked deep to right field toward the second deck. Solo home run for Kyle Schwarber, his 46th of the year. It's his 5th home run in his last 10 games against the Braves. Phillies with 9 hits already, and we're just in the 4th inning. That one is drilled deep to right field toward the pole. Gone! Second home run of the night. This one a 2-run shot. 47 on the year. 10-3 Phils. I think the slump might be over. That one's the opposite way. Profar's going back. It's carrying pretty well. It is gone! It's a 3-home run night. It's his 4th one of his career. He decided to go oppo. 15-3 Phils.
Both places on their feet, man. Open for number 4.
That one's drilled deep to right field. He has done it. 4 home runs in a game. A 3-run home run.
And so Tom McCarthy, by the way, tremendous job by T-Mac on all 4 calls. And D, I think the one thing that I go back to about last night was the idea that this team needed that moment. They needed a jolt after what happened in New York this week and how embarrassing it got. And they needed it from the guy who is ultimately their team leader in Kyle Schwarber, and they got it.
I agree with you. I thought listening to Topper and how he had talked with his team after what had happened in New York. And I love the demeanor of Rob Thompson because he keeps it calm.
Right.
And he's like, it's a 162-game season. Things like this happen. Now, because it was the Mets and you had a 7-game lead and you thought you were going to create this great separation, and instead it went the other way, was unfortunate. But it didn't have to change everything about who you are and what the season is. The 4 home runs, incredible. Obviously, spanking them like they did. 19, geez.
Yeah, and Cal Quantrill's not good. I mean, he's not a good pitcher. I felt the most important one is the first because Nola goes out, allows the 3 in the first inning, throws 36 pitches. The ballpark is on edge after what happened. And then he comes up, he smacks the first, and then just kind of snowballs. Real Muto hits a homer after that, then Kepler hits a homer. You end that inning up 6-3, but that's the lighting of the fuse last night. And for Kyle Schwarber, I don't think we've said this enough. He is having one of the all-time seasons in Philadelphia sports history. The fact that he's at 49 homers and 119 RBIs on August 29th is sick.
Yeah.
I mean, Ryan Howard had a couple of those years in 07, 08, 06. This is on par with that.
Very timely. Considering
that contract,
his contract it's a contract year. I don't want to associate that with the year that he's having because I love the guy, but in this town we've seen people rewarded with big contracts,
and he's going to get rewarded.
He's going to get rewarded.
Yeah, and they're not going to let him go. Like I know people wring their hands and what's it going to cost him for? He's going to stay here. He's going to be here. it's like 99% in my mind that Schwarber's coming back. And because of nights like that, you cannot afford to let him walk out the door at this point, because this team doesn't have a lot of goodwill with their fan base at this point because of the feeling that you're going to disappoint me again. They almost, I heard Connor say it yesterday, it's almost a little bit like Sixeritis, where people feel so disappointed because you went to the World Series and everybody was excited that year. Then you backtrack. Then you backtracked again, and people are worried it's going to happen again. But Schwarber's the one guy that brings legitimate joy to this fan base out of this group at this point.
Oh, yeah.
And that they feel like he doesn't disappoint them. So, yeah, they're gonna have to re-sign him. And he's going to be in the conversation. Ken Rosenthal wrote a great article on The Athletic this morning about the idea of the pressure that both Schwarber and Cal Raleigh are putting on the two perennial MVPs in Aaron Judge in the American League and Shohei Ohtani in the National. The conversation's on. It's real right now. And I don't know. Like, you covered the NBA for a long time.
I think I still do.
Yes. But you've covered the NBA for a long time. Yes. They talked about the idea that Ohtani and Judge are going to probably suffer through voter fatigue of guys Raleigh and Schwarber will benefit because it's a new face.
New name.
And Rosenthal said it shouldn't be that way. But I do think that there is a legitimate case here that both of them, both Raleigh, who the Mariners are going to go to playoffs, and Schwarber are carrying their teams to a postseason at this point. I mean, so that makes them MVP.
Raleigh more so than Schwarber, don't you think?
Well, they're one homer separated now, so they're 50 and 49.
No, I know that, but I think there are more aspects to the Phillies
than the Mariners
team concept.
Fair,
in my opinion.
Yeah, the Phillies had two Cy Young candidates most of the year.
Yeah, I mean
they also have Harper and Turner and Real Muto, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
But that was a needed boost for them last night. One of the questions we're going to have Scott Lauber on at 11 o'clock from the Inquirer to talk about it as well on one of the special nights in the history of the sport. 21 times it's happened. It's less than perfect games, is one of the things we have heard all day. It is the third time this year, which is weird. It is not something that often...
Wait, 21
times in the history of the game.
But 3 times this year?
3 times this year.
That's insane.
Nick Kurtz of the A's hit 4 against the Astros on July 25th. Schwarber last night and Gino Suarez did it against the Braves.
Oh, the Braves.
On April 26th in a game the Diamondbacks lost.
The poor guy has... That's like getting a hole-in-one and you lose the match.
It's only the
Can't
third.
tell anybody
It's
about
only
it.
the third time in history. That was only the third time in history a team has lost when a player homered 4 times. And obviously it's 49.
3 out of 21.
Right. It's 49 years since Mike Schmidt did it. The Phillies have 4 home run games. Ed Delahanty, Chuck Klein, Mike Schmidt, and now Kyle Schwarber.
Been a while.
Yeah, 49 years. Since Schmitty did it at Wrigley, and he was also wearing the powder blues.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
That is cool. I love those uniforms.
Now, let me ask you a question. Once he had the third, do they go and get the footage of Schmitty doing it so that you're ready to roll that?
I don't.
Or would they not even have had it?
I don't think they had it.
But you got to be able to find that call somewhere. I mean, somebody, once he has 3, you got to be digging to go.
And I'll give our friends at NBC Sports Philly a lot of credit last night. They got Schmitty on postgame.
Oh, that's awesome.
On the phone, and Schmitty was Schmitty. He was like, I was in a slump too. That was the thing. Schwarber was in an 0 for 20 and looked awful in the Mets series, and he comes in last night and has one of the all-time nights.
What was Schmitty's quote slump before he hit his 4? I
actually looked this up today. He talked about he had been in a slump. It was only game 4 or 5 of the season.
Oh.
He was hitting 167. Yeah, but it was 5 games.
It was 5 games.
5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. But then Schmidt's average went to 333 after our 5 for 6. We're going to talk a lot about the Phillies today. We'll get into the Micah Parsons trade later and how it impacts the NFC's hierarchy. But the one other thing I wanted to get to before we go to break, and this is our question of the day, if you will. The greatest individual games that you've seen in Philadelphia history. Because last night goes in the list. And we both have been fortunate. We've covered a lot of them, or been in the building for a lot of them, or been watched on TV, working for a lot of them. We'll go through our list a little later on as well. We also have a Twitter poll on that as we go on this morning and this afternoon. You can join us, 610-632-0975, 610-632-0975. You can also join us on YouTube. We'll read the YouTube chat as the day goes along. Lots to get to on this Friday before Labor Day. Hope you're having a good weekend, or hope you're going to have a great weekend. We're here till 2 here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
The Summers.
By The Fanatic, I'm Kevin Cooney, along with Dee Lynham. Haley is on the board this morning, as well as we get into Labor Day weekend. You got big plans for Labor Day weekend?
Being here, it's big. I'm here tomorrow morning, Sunday, and we're back together on Monday, aren't we?
Yeah, we are back together on Monday. That's
my big plan.
I am in Ocean City on tomorrow.
Nice.
Going down the shore for the day. Going to try to go watch a little football down there. My high school's playing in Ocean City, Father Judge.
Father Judge.
They're playing actually Lansdale Catholic, who my buddy is the principal of.
Lansdale Catholic was where my dad had his first coaching job.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome. And then
they were really, really good.
And then we'll go to one restaurant my wife and her mom and love down there, and we'll head home tomorrow night and cut the lawn and everything on Sunday and get ready for a nice weekend. Also, the Irish are on Sunday.
Here it comes.
Yeah.
All season, Hal. We're going to have to hear it.
Yeah, I know. I'm worried about the first two games. They get Miami on Sunday night, and then they get Texas A&M in 2 weeks. So, it's going to be interesting. But that's not the main story of the day. Obviously, the main story of the day is Kyle Schwarber. And
not Michael Parsons?
Or Michael. Jerry.
I think he did it on purpose.
You think he did that on purpose?
I told you. I thought he did it on purpose. Now, maybe I'm the crazy one. I just say go back and find me an interview before all this went down and tell me if he called him Micah or if he called him Michael.
I will tell you, though, if he did that on purpose for a guy in his 80s, that's not a good idea because it makes people question whether he's losing it or not.
I want to.
Hold on. Haley has the audio. Here.
He's too sharp to do this.
Here is Jerry Jones.
Did I talk to Michael? Micah.
Who corrected him?
Steven's out of the will.
All right. Well, then maybe
Steven's out of the will at that point.
Yeah. That's insane.
But
he's been sitting across from this guy for all these things. He wasn't calling him by the wrong name while he was trying to get this deal done originally.
It was intentional.
I think it was because that's the kind of guy he is.
He is petty enough that he would do it that way.
100%.
I want to get into that a little later, but I want to ask you the question I have on the Twitter. And all right, Haley, get to the Twitter poll we have today.
Yep. So today's Twitter poll of the day on 97.5 The Fanatic is, what is the greatest individual game by a Philadelphia athlete in the 21st century? Write-ins are welcomed. But right now we have Halliday's playoff no-no at 64%, Schwarber's 4 home run game last night at 10%, Embiid's 70 points versus the Spurs at 5%, and Saquon's 255-yard game, 21%.
Wait a minute. What was the leader?
It was Halliday's no-no.
Which is what I said.
Yeah, you said that in the back. Now, there are write-in candidates. Obviously, the Halliday perfect game could be in there as well. I think the playoff no-hitter
I'm actually surprised Embiid is at 5%. I can't imagine anybody voting for him right in this moment.
And we have text messages on that game just saying how it was the most casual 70 points ever dropped in a basketball.
I will say it was pretty casual. Yeah. That I will agree. Whoever texted that, they are so right.
What was the best game you've been at? Oh, the best performance at a game you've been at?
Well, I was at
the 70.
Yeah. For me personally, Iverson game 1 of the 0-1, the step over. But I mean his individual performance that day and Shaq's was like, if you go back and think about that, now what gets lost in that is you think it's going to be this unbelievable series and it ends up not being that.
I think people forget they had the leading game too as well in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. But for given the stage,
that
was pretty. I mean, that his performances throughout those playoffs, his 250s against the Raptors.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember something specific of the games against Milwaukee, but I was at that one, and what he did and what Shaq was doing for game 1 of a finals on an individual level was pretty sensational.
Like for me, I would say that the Halliday playoff no-hitter. I was not in Miami for the perfect game. We didn't go because the Flyers had taken our travel budget and ripped it asunder at that point by going to the Stanley Cup Finals in Chicago. But I was at game 1 of the LDS where Halliday threw the playoff no-no, and he was pretty much perfect that night. I covered 4 no-hitters, and that is still by far the best one I've ever been to. Like, just how dominant it was Like the others were like, I saw Josh Beckett throw a no-hitter against the Phillies, and he walked like 4 or 5. But yeah, the Holiday could answer like 5 different things.
Yes.
Because he was that good in that 2010 and 2011 era. Saquon's really good too. I mean,
but yeah, his year.
Right.
I don't think people remember that specific 255. You know what I'm saying?
Boy, that night, it was the Sunday night of Thanksgiving weekend. It was the Sunday night game in L.A. That was pretty damn good. That was.
I'm not saying it wasn't.
No.
I'm just saying it doesn't stand out because he could bust one in any given game, which is really what he did, which is why he got so close to 2,000 yards.
It's amazing how much he owned the Rams last year. The playoff game and how his numbers were sick in both those games against a team that is not bad. I mean, they had a quality defense for most of the second half of the year. So we'll get into more on the Schwarber thing. I also want to get into Aaron Nola because I heard Mike
got overshadowed.
He got overshadowed.
Well, his first inning didn't help.
No.
But he did pass Cole Hamels for
I did see that.
Strikeouts.
Third, I think it is now. Behind.
Isn't that crazy that he passes Cole Hamels and he's not even mentioned?
Oh. And meanwhile, there's also the outfield situation with this team, which is interesting by the day because Nick Castellanos is in a straight platoon. Whether they want to say it or not, he's in a platoon, and I never thought that would happen.
Let me ask you a question. Because you remember, I don't remember what game it was, where they showed a cutaway of him after the home run.
Yeah, it was one of the games against the Nationals.
Was it the Nationals?
It was a Sosa home run.
Yep.
And he looked
miserable, but
he kind of looks that way a lot.
What's that?
He looks that way a lot.
That's what somebody else said.
I mean, so
it wouldn't necessarily can't read into it.
No,
per se.
We'll get into that a little bit in our next segment about kind of all the other storylines with the Phillies, who, by the way, also gained a game last night on the Mets. Lost on the
because they lost to the Marlins.
Because they lost to the Marlins, because that's typical of the Mets.
Well, they had a Phillies hangover.
Yeah, pretty much.
With the Marlins coming.
610-632-0975. Here's Haley with an update. 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Schwarber kept going yard. I'm Haley Taylor-Simon with your Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies scored the most runs since 2023 as they dominated the Braves 19-4. Harrison Bader had 4 hits. Aaron Nola surpassed his former teammate Cole Hamels on the Phil's all-time strikeout list. Anyways, the big story is Kyle Schwarber, who had 4 home runs in a single game. Schwarber is the 21st player in baseball and the 4th Philly to achieve this accomplishment. Take a listen to what Schwarber had to say following the game.
You're not trying to go hit a homer. I wish I didn't try to that last one. You just stick to in the middle of the field and see what happens, and you get some good results, and just got to be able to turn the page tomorrow.
You can hear the MVP chants in the background. The Phils take on the Braves again tonight at 6:45. We are under a week away from the Eagles' season opener against Dallas. For the Birds, they don't have to worry about Micah Parsons until week 10, as he was traded to the Packers. At Eagles practice yesterday, Landon Dickerson, A.J. Brown were all practicing due to their different injuries. Anyways, this update was also brought to you by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Haley Taylor-Simon on your home of the best Birds coverage on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Welcome back. 97.5 The Fanatic. We are the midday show for today. I'm Kevin Cooney along with D. Lynham. We're back also on Monday. There must be something with my co-host and that microphone.
Well, it's always been this way. It flips. It
Well,
goes-
did you hear the Austin story?
yeah.
That he broke the mic?
What happened?
He broke it at the joint.
Oh,
It ripped off.
like he pulled on it?
Yeah. And it cracked off. Yeah.
I will say, for years, this thing has always kind of had a mind of its own and flips downward.
Yeah.
Not that anybody at home cares.
No.
But on YouTube, they could see
Oh. Forgot.
Can I get a screenshot of that, please?
I totally forgot that was the case.
Talking about Kyle Schwarber's 4-home run game last night. Again, one of 21 in baseball history, the third this year, which you're right, is kind of amazing. One of them was in a minor league.
Well, only because we're talking about 21 all time and
Yeah.
then 3 in this year.
In a 155-year history of the sport, or 160-year history of the sport. Here was Kyle Schwarber talking last night after the game about his reaction to a historic night.
There's going to be times you can do everything right and be out, and you can do everything wrong and get a hit. It was just one of those things where it just, it happened to work out. But like I said, it's more the fact of just staying through the middle of the field and you're not trying to go hit a homer. I wish I didn't try to that last one, but you just stay through the middle of the field and see what happens, and you get some good results, and just got to be able to turn the page tomorrow, and it's a whole new clean slate tomorrow.
Whole new slate tomorrow against Bryce Elder tonight for the Braves. I will say
I'm going to that game.
you're going tonight, right?
Yeah. I haven't been in a while.
I will say that the one thing was amazing to me, and it wasn't the one after he hit his fourth, he comes up one more time and he pops up harmlessly with a shortstop pitching, which I know drives Ricky crazy, and I don't blame him.
Kev, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
When as the opposition that he has 3, why still pitch to him?
I think at that point there's a respect for the game.
There is? Okay. No, I was just curious.
I mean, there's some people, and Brian Snitker's a big respect for the game kind of guy.
Okay.
I like Snit. I think Snit is a good manager. I think he has the best interest of the game at heart, so I don't think he minded throwing.
Yeah,
there.
make him earn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The funny part is, on the second at bat where he flew out the center, he just missed it, like by a hair. And not that it was against the fence or something, but you could see where on the barrel he got it just a little bit off the top, and it popped it straight up. But the swing was pretty much like every other one he had. And if he makes contact with that, then he's the first one to ever have 5 home runs, to be honest. And that
would have been cool.
That would have been cool. And that was what was.
Because the other thing is opportunity, right?
Yeah.
I mean, going through that lineup as many times as they did,
Right.
well, obviously by the 19 runs.
I mean, yeah.
But so I agree with him in the post game when he said you can do everything right and not get a hit, and you could do everything wrong and you may get one. But there are a number of things that had to align for the opportunity for him to get those 4.
And it's funny, his last home run, the guy hitting in front of him is Mundo Sosa. And the guy hitting behind him is Weston Wilson, because the other 2 have been pulled at that point, but Turner and Harper. So, yeah, it's one of them nights. And if you were there, I am jealous of people. I mentioned this.
You know what I hate for the people who were there? Like, you don't have a physical ticket stub. Like, that's something I would frame.
You can buy one actually at Citizens Bank Park.
I already paid for my ticket. Why do I have to buy one?
It's $20.
Ridiculous.
Does it go to charity?
No.
Well, then I'm
You
not
see
buying
what
it.
I'm saying?
I agree.
I already paid for the ticket. Why can I not have a physical ticket?
That's a good question.
That is wrong.
It is.
I got to pay another $20?
Yeah.
I used to get that.
You still have ticket stubs?
Yes.
I do too.
I mean, Tim has. I have my first on-air job as a weekend sports anchor was in Wisconsin,
Right.
and they went to the Rose Bowl,
Right.
for the first Barry Alvarez.
Yeah.
First time in like 60 years or 47. I forget how many. And somebody took a picture of me like reporting on the field, and my husband had come out and he had a ticket to the game. So there's the ticket stub.
Like a shadow box kind of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad went to.
I mean, I guess I would pay the $20 if it was that important to me, but the principle of that is just annoying.
My dad went to game 6 and 80. He had that. I had the last game at the Vet. I have the ticket from that, even though I was covering it, but my parents went. I had bought tickets. I have the All-Star game and all that. Yeah, those physical tickets are.
I will say this. My kids went to the Super Bowl, the one that the Eagles won, beat the Pats.
In Minneapolis?
Minneapolis. And they do have that ticket stub.
Yeah, I think that one the NFL makes a point that.
Super Bowl,
Haley, did you get a physical ticket when you went this year?
Yeah, to the Super Bowl? Yeah.
The Super Bowl, yeah.
Yeah, I think you have to on that. I know the Final Four does it that way still, too.
Yeah, you have to. I mean.
Yeah, we have it. I believe it's framed. I'm not allowed to have access to it yet.
What, are you afraid you're going to sell it off or something? I mean,
I lose things. So it's at the parents' house.
If you lost that, that would be bad.
It would be. That's why I have the tattoo on me. I can't lose that.
You have it? Never mind. I'm not getting it. No. You have a tattoo?
I got a Super Bowl tattoo. Kev, go
You have
Birds.
a problem with the tattoo?
I'm not a tattoo guy.
You wouldn't get one for your Fighting Irish?
No, I'm the only Northeast Philly Irish guy who doesn't have a leprechaun on his body.
I have one.
Okay.
You have a leprechaun?
No. I definitely don't have a leprechaun. I have one tattoo. That's all I'm saying. I'm not like addicted to ink, but
I'm afraid of needles. I am. I'm a 6'5"
I will
wimp.
say I take tremendous care because I want the color to stay.
Okay.
So the way you do that is you don't let it see the sun.
Okay. I don't know how we ended up on this one, but I'm
Tickets. Physical ticket copies.
610-632-0975. Sometimes you shouldn't ask questions if you really don't want the answer. We'll get into the Nick Castellanos and Aaron Nola discussion on the other side. I'm Kev. That's D. That's Haley. This is Middays on 97.5 The Fanatic. 97.5 The Fanatic. Want to remind you, Unfiltered is going on the road. Join the Fanatic for the inaugural live broadcast of Unfiltered with Ricky Bo, Bill Colarulo, and Savannah Kelleher, presented by Bet Parks. That's coming up Thursday, September 4th at Chicky and Pete's in South Philly from 2 to 6 before the Birds home opener. Will be right in the middle of the center of the action. First 300 fans will get a Kelly Green Birds rally towel, courtesy of our friends at Great Veiling. Brought to you by the Bet Parks online casino and sportsbook. You bet Parks. Click on the events page on 975thefanatic.com for all.
That's not one of
info.
the Kelly Green Jersey nights, right? There's
No.
3 total.
There are 3 total.
Right,
It's
but that's not-
the Giant game
It is against the Cowboys, but not
in
that one.
Dallas.
In Dallas.
In Dallas.
Yep.
They're doing the 3 division games. And then the Commanders game on the final week of the season, which may mean you get to see Tanner McKee in a Kelly Green jersey. Again, second time, by the way. He did it last year, too, if you remember, in the Dallas game. So, let me get to Aaron Nola, because he had a disastrous start last night. I mean, just started the game.
Getting
First
back in the
inning.
groove.
Right. First inning, missed the zone, walked the man in, had trouble with his curveball location that portion of the night. Gives up the 3. Park is booing. It's like a worst-case scenario. Then, of course, Schwarber and the offense kicks in, and he settled down. And the question I have for you, D, and I kind of believe that they need Nola, if they're going to make a run in this thing, to be a number 2 or a number 3 starter. And there's been nothing in these first 3 starts that he's given that makes me feel super comfortable about that.
So, yeah, I hear you. Again, he was sidelined for a long
3 months.
time.
3 months.
Yeah. So I'm not sure I'm ready to make a call yet.
No.
Per se. But let me ask you a question. You think you absolutely need him to be the number 3? I don't think you do.
Well, I want him, honestly, as my 2 to separate Sanchez and Ranger as a righty. I want to keep.
Okay, you want to. I see what you're saying.
This is more for logistics than if
than
you're
it
doing
is for who's
merit.
the best.
Right.
Yeah, I got you.
And I got to put Luzardo back in the pen, because they're going to need the one thing with Matt Strom that I've seen, they're going to need a lefty out of the pen who can throw hard in the playoffs.
Strom's not your guy.
He's at 92, 93, and I just
enough.
don't. I don't know if I totally trust him. He gives a lot. He also has a lot of fly balls, and that to me is one of them. Like, I need to have a power guy.
All right, so I see what you're saying. So you put Nola to separate those 2,
Right?
and you're saying he hasn't shown you in these first 3 starts.
That I would feel comfortable putting him in a game 2 situation. No, and
Well, you may not have a choice.
you may not, unless they're going to go straight
Lefty.
lefty,
Yeah.
and then Nola for game 3, or I would have said up until Wednesday night, Taiwan for game 3 would be a possibility too if you didn't want to put Nola. But if you're not going to have Nola if you're not going to have Nola in the rotation, you're not going to have him on the roster
Right.
at this point.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, because he can't go to the bullpen. Walker, in theory, could go to the bullpen. Not super comfortable with it, but it could happen. They're not going to throw Aaron Nola in the bullpen. They're just not. And I think
I think he's going to be on the roster.
Yeah.
Which means he's going to pitch game 2.
It would be an insult, too, if you don't have him on the roster.
I think. Because that's a lot of work for 3 months to come back, and then you don't feel. Now, if he
may not be on the NLDS or on the if they go a wild card, he may not be on the wild card roster necessarily.
That's fine. That's about the number of games.
Yeah. Because they may do a game 3 kind of throw to kitchen. Although I guess if I want him as a game 3 starter, I got to have him in the NLDS or NL wild card if it gets to that point.
Yeah.
It's the one area that I was hoping to see a little more progress out of with him. You're right. Game 1, he looked awful in Washington. Then he pitched better the second time against the Nationals.
Yeah, and if you obviously the thing you think about last night is, oh my God, they're down 3-0 in the first inning.
Yeah, and if you fall behind 3-0 in a playoff,
you're not going to feel good about what's going to happen after that
against anybody other than Cal Quantrill.
Yeah, exactly.
But the bigger story to me is Castellanos, and they were excusing it before when they were in Texas, like hard turf. Then just want a matchup thing, all that. They're getting at a point right now. One, Harrison Bader's going to be, I think, in the lineup every day at this point in the outfield. And they're going to use Kepler in right against right-handers. And my only fear with that is how does Casty react? Because
he has to see the writing.
He's
on the wall.
He's gone at the end of the year.
Well, that we know. But I don't think it'd be really hard to be a poor sport
in September
with the teammates that you've been with.
Right.
With a guy like Schwarber having the season he is, and you're going to pout because they're doing what's best for the team.
And it's not like it's a free agent year where, okay, he needs this because he's walking at the end of the year and he's looking for a new contract or something. You're right on that. I mean, that he's got his money next year. But he's a prideful guy. And we saw that early in the year when he got pulled in the eighth inning. It feels like ever since that moment.
Didn't he have to apologize to Topper about that?
I don't know if he apologized like publicly. He said it was Topper's call and he respects Topper, that Topper has that right as the manager.
He definitely had to dial it back.
But like ever since that point, you could just see this progression of little by little, them taking him out of the mix more and more.
What's his age?
I would think
32?
31, 32. I'll look that up I mean, you know, he is.
He's 33.
30.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think it's hard for a lot of people. Father Time stops for nobody. There are things you can do to, like I would say, Schwarber changed his body.
Yeah, he did. He lost a pretty good amount of weight.
Flat out changed his body. So, you know, if you feel like it's declining, you can try to do things that might help your situation.
Right now, he has he's in 255, a 703 OPS, 16 homers, 61 RBIs. They are not bad numbers. The problem for him is his numbers against righties are brutal. And the other part of it that's his defense, he doesn't cover any ground. And it's at a point right now where I think
the only thing you obviously the guy in center has to be somebody who
Bader.
Yeah.
I mean, Bader, I mentioned this to Haley. Bader covers a ton of ground.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe not as much as Rojas did, but he takes better routes than Rojas did. And he's better than Marsh in center. And Marsh going to left is an upgrade over what, honestly, Kepler was in left. So, yeah, he's at a point.
I give them credit because
it takes a lot of guts to
do what to figure it out.
Light the fuse and hope the dynamite doesn't explode in your clubhouse, which is what they've kind of done. You know, with a volatile personality like Casty, they've taken a big risk. And you're right. The fact that they're winning probably
certainly helps.
Diffuses it a little bit, but it's still a risk. And I give Topper, everybody talks about Topper being, he's so passive in it. This is gutsy. This is really gutsy what he's doing.
And you know what? They say that, but you don't know what Topper is behind closed doors. I used to say the same thing about Andy Reid because people thought he was boring. Time's yours or whatever.
He's boring in a press conference.
Yeah. Obviously, he had total control of his locker room.
No. I grew as a reporter covering one guy who had complete control of his clubhouse, and that was Charlie.
Oh, yeah.
And Charlie did not bury guys in public, but we would see the door close and we would see somebody march in and we knew exactly what was going on.
Oh, yeah.
And you could hear it through the wall. If he was mad, you could hear it through the wall. So I don't think Topper's that way.
No, but he's not a pushover.
But he's not a pushover.
He flat out is not a pushover.
And he also was in enough Yankee staffs.
Yes.
With Girardi and all that. He didn't just forget that.
No.
You know, it's easy to beat up on him because he's a mild-mannered Canadian guy, which is what it is. You know, and certain people in this station take great glee in beating up on him every morning between 6 and 10. But
I wonder who.
But, like, the man's going to the playoffs for the 4th straight year. And his team did go to a World Series, and they're going to probably win their second division. You know, if he wants to walk away, that's fine. The idea that, like, people are ready to, like, toss him aside, like, be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Believe me. By the way,
the bigger problem is in the GM office anyway. Go ahead.
I was, because of the whole Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
You know, the Packers are in Dallas on September
Week 4.
28th.
So, yes, Sunday night game. We'll get to Micah and Michael and Jerry and the whole mess in Dallas and how it impacts the Eagles, because it does. Rightly or wrong?
Does it?
Yeah, we'll get to that on the other side. 610-632-0975. I'm Kevin. That's D. Here's Haley with the update.
I'll be Haley for a day.
Yeah. 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Schwarber kept going yard. I'm Haley Taylor Simon with your Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies scored the most runs since 2023 as they dominated the Braves 19-4. Harrison Bader had 4 hits. Aaron Nola surpasses former teammate Cole Hamels on the Phillies' all-time strikeout list. But the big story was Kyle Schwarber, who had 4 home runs in a single game. Schwarber is the 21st player in MLB history and 4th in Phillies franchise history to achieve this accomplishment. Take a listen to what Schwarber had to say following the game.
You know, trying to go hit a homer. I wish I didn't try to that last one. You just stick to in the middle of the field and see what happens, and you get some good results. And just got to be able to turn the page tomorrow.
We're under a week away from the Eagles season opener against Dallas. For the Birds, they don't have to worry about Micah Parsons until week 10 as he was traded to the Packers. Good news yesterday as Landon Dickerson was seen again practicing after he did have that surgery on his MCL. This update is brought to you by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage for a limited time. Get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. Scott Lauber will be joining the show at 11. I'm Haley Taylor Simon on your home of the best Birds coverage on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
56, 97.5 The Fanatic. Reminder, Scott Lauber will join us in the next couple minutes. We'll talk more about the Phils, the Nick Castellanos situation. Also, Kyle Schwarber last night, obviously. Reminder, you're listening to WPEN and WPEN HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. I always have to go into my official announcer voice at that point, which I don't have. Haley, how about some text?
Kevin, yes. This is Ellis from Lancaster, and this is about re-signing Kyle Schwarber. Big topic. I'd 100% pay the $20 for a ticket stub as long as the money goes to re-signing Kyle Schwarber, whatever it takes.
His 20 isn't going to do it, but
I think it's the point. Like, he wants to contribute.
I got you.
You better be about the entire tri-state area at that point, kicking in 20, and you're still short. So, seriously, look, John Milton's got the money. So,
they're going to pay him.
They're going to pay him.
It's not.
He's back. I'm telling you, he's back.
All right. Well, we have Mike checking in from Pennsylvania, and this is about Castellanos. Why do I care about how Castellanos feels? Is this elementary school? Do what's best for the team. He's been a negative player almost all year. We have to do what it takes to win. Why are we so scared?
All right.
Or we're not scared because they are doing what they think is right.
But I will tell you my thing. Baseball clubhouses are different. And we'll
but you're
obviously
there a lot
Scott,
longer than any
you're
of the
there
other
and you see everybody. And when we get to talk to Scott here in a minute or so, I'll certainly ask him. Like the dynamic of being around a guy every day from February to November now.
Yeah.
And some personalities react in different ways to different situations.
The only thing I will say, Kev, we're not talking about like your MVP. He's not Harper.
No.
He's not Schwarber.
No.
So,
but he was a guy who, by the way, had arguably their best playoff last year. He's a guy who did have a good playoff 2 years ago against the Braves. He has been a part of this. And he does have the type of personality that can blow stuff up if it doesn't go well. So,
but all I'm saying, and I agree with all of that, know your role, stay in your lane.
And the idea that if it's that bad, you're going to get out of here at the end of the year anyway, right?
That's what, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, but it's easier said than done for some guys.
Well, then I go back to when they're winning, which take the Mets series out. By and large, it's been a winning year. You want to be that guy? I mean, even the ones that are a pain in the rear, it is harder to be that guy.
And especially because the window is so narrow for some of these guys. In their 30s and everything, you only have so many shots to do this. Yeah, that might be the one thing that keeps him from blowing up, but this has gone very interesting. And joining us now on the Comcast Business Hotline, he is the Phillies beat writer and the MLB columnist for the Philadelphia Inquirer. You remember to experience the new look of Inquirer Sports where fans can read, watch, and listen to their favorite reporters and columnists. That's at inquirer.com/sports. It's our friend Scott Lauber. Hi, Scott. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
I'm good. You picked a good night off last night, didn't you?
It's got to be me, right? Like, sit through those 3 games in New York, where, I mean, wow, that was about as bad baseball as you could get for 3 nights, and then you get a night off, and that happens. Are you kidding me? So at some point, you have to look in the mirror and go, maybe I'm the problem.
That reminds me of Zalecky. Always tells the story about how he missed the Millwood no-hitter on his first road trip. As a beat writer, he missed the Halliday perfect game.
Oh my God!
He missed
poor guy.
Yeah, it was all that. So it sometimes happens in this sport. But let's put last night in a historical perspective, in a sense of 21 times in baseball history it's happened, 4 times to the Phillies, but 3 times this year. just what was the impact of last night on this franchise for the rest of this year and going forward?
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously there's the cool historic individual element to the whole thing. As you said, 21 times now that a player has hit 4 homers in a game. Schwarber joins Ed Delahanty, Big Ed Delahanty, Chuck Klein, and Mike Schmidt as the only 4 Phillies to do it. The Hall of Fame comes calling for the helmet, and that'll be going to Cooperstown and all of that. But I don't know, maybe I've been hanging out with Kyle Schwarber for too many years now, but like my reaction to the whole thing more or less was, obviously, wow, that's real cool for Kyle Schwarber. But look, the night before they lose in New York, he stands up in his locker and he says, we're not really fazed by anything. We've been swept before. We'll come back. This is not going to we'll get rid of this pretty quickly and move forward. And then he goes and does that. And I sort of thought, well, that was my takeaway was, the Phillies were kind of searching for their equilibrium. Who has been their equilibrium for the last 4 years? It's been Kyle Schwarber. If he had done half of what he did last night, if he hits 2 homers and drives in 5 runs, we're saying, wow, what a night for Kyle Schwarber, and boy, did the Phillies need that. So, the historical element of it was incredible, but I think it was the timing. I think it was exactly what they needed and then some at the right time. And I think it was the leader of the team standing up and saying, we'll be fine, as everybody around them was freaking out. And then, going out there and making sure that they were fine. And that to me was really the big takeaway.
Scott, is it a no-brainer? They bring them back next year. They sign them.
I mean, I think so. But, weird things happen when you get out into the marketplace and, 30 teams can come at a player with their best offer. So I guess it's possible that he gets out there on the market. Somebody just throws a crazy, silly amount of years at him and dollars, and the Phillies say, thank you and good luck. But, I mean, look, I have a hard time seeing that happen. It didn't happen with JT Realmuto. It didn't happen with Aaron Nola when those guys got out on the market, and I have a difficult time seeing it happen here with Kyle Schwarber. But as I said, you don't know. I mean, look, the Cincinnati Reds, right, brought like every family member of his out to throw out a first pitch. If you don't think that they're going to make a serious push to bring him home in the offseason, I can't imagine that they outbid the Phillies for Kyle Schwarber, but weird things happen in free agency.
And just knowing the guy, do you have a feel of, I can tell people who want to make this home long beyond their playing days. Do you have a feel for where he would want to be long term, family wise?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think he really likes it here. His children were born here. He said that to me at the All-Star game. He said, like, this is more or less home for them. He has little children, and I think another on the way. So I do know that he feels that way. But we're also not talking about someone, and I don't say this to sort of say like, to paint Kyle Schwarber as a mercenary or someone who's going to go anywhere. But he grew up in the Cubs organization, won a World Series there.
That's right.
And left there, and not by choice, right? Obviously, the Cubs cut him loose, but he left Chicago and found greener pastures in other places. He had a good time for a very short time in Boston. He had a good time for a very short time in Washington. But he's now been here for 4 years. He does have a family here now that, has grown since he got here. So I do think he feels like there are some roots here for him now. But I also feel like he has seen enough and been enough to know that he can put down those roots elsewhere.
Anywhere, yep.
Scott, let me turn to some of the other situations with this team, obviously in the wake of the fiasco in New York. Nick Castellanos not in the lineup last night against a right-hander. It seems like more and more this situation is dripping towards almost a straight platoon between him and Max Kepler in right. 2 questions. 1, do you get that read on it? 2, are you surprised Castellanos has not been vocal about it, at least at this point, given his personality?
So it is drifting more toward what a platoon looks like. But I don't think it's that, not yet, because I've written this and I've said this in a lot of places. Like, to me, Rob Thompson's like the plate spinner in the circus, right? Like, he's trying to keep 5 plates spinning at the same time when he knows that he can only really use 3 of them. And for 2.5 weeks now, he's somehow managed to do that. I kind of give up on a day-to-day basis trying to figure out what the outfield alignment's going to look like that particular night, because it's clear that he's trying to get those 5 guys, or keep those 5 guys going at the same time. And in some ways, in Max Kepler's case, for example, I mean, Max Kepler's hitting more now than he was when he was playing 75% of the time. So, it's certainly drifted more toward a platoon than I thought it would. I think back to that series in Texas when he sat Castellanos
the hard turf
in that middle game, and he said, "Yeah, the hard turf." Now, you and I know that. I know that ballpark in Texas is kind of new still, but I haven't heard a whole lot of people talk about the hard turf. To me, that was, we're facing Jacob deGrom tonight. Guess what? It's a good time to give Castellanos a breather. And I thought, okay, that's how it'll be. Like, when they face the toughest of the tough righties, Castellanos will sit. Well, then he sits him against Cade Cavalli, and then he sits him against, Cal Quantrill last night. And so now it's no longer the toughest of the tough righties, but it's also not just a knee-jerk automatic, we're playing a righty, no Castellanos kind of platoon. So I think that there are going to be nights where, Castellanos plays right and Kepler still plays left. I think there are going to be nights where Marsh plays left and Kepler plays right. The only constant at this moment is Harrison Bader, who seems to be the center fielder right now, but that can change as well. Thompson's very, very aware of the fact that in Castellanos' long career now, there have been hot streaks, like really, really scorching hot streaks around the bend after cold streaks, and he doesn't want to miss that by sitting him. So I think he's waiting for that hot streak to catch that hot streak around the corner, and maybe it comes, maybe this is the year it doesn't for Castellanos, but and to answer the second part, I guess I'm not surprised he hasn't said anything, because he doesn't really have a leg to stand on here. It's not like he's produced, and it's not like he's, having his normal year. He's not having his normal year. He's having a less than normal year for him. And so I don't really think, at this time, given how the team is playing and given how he is playing, that there's a real case to be made for, hey man, I should play more. I think it's, I need to make the most of my opportunities when I do play, and try to force myself in there, because look, he has seen throughout his career, maybe not the playing time, but he's seen Rob Thompson drop him to 7th in the order plenty of times during the last 3 years here, and the way to move up is to hit, and he usually does that, and he finds himself back in the middle of the order. So I think that's more the mentality than, boy, I've got a gripe to raise here, because I think there'd be some people who'd look at him funny if he did that.
Yeah, I was just reading it. The mix and match that Thompson has to deal with right now.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic. And Thompson's, you're right, the spinning of the plates is a great example of it, because there's a lot of moving parts there and a lot of guys who can be productive but aren't sure bets, and he's kind of made the most of it.
Yeah, I mean, I asked him the other day, I said, how do you decide on a day-to-day basis who the 3 are going to be? Is it simply who's swinging the bat the best? And he said, yeah, that's a lot of it, but he also tries to look at matchups and history with certain pitchers and factor all of those things in. And then, someone asked a follow-up question and said, well, would you rather have 3 guys who step up and are your 3 guys? And he said, I'd rather have 5 guys who are hot. So, I think as long as he can keep the plate spinning, he's willing to do that, and he's willing to take on, that's his job. But it's also not easy to have to balance all of those things.
What are their greatest challenges as they close out the regular season or come down this stretch, do you think?
Yeah, I think there's always that challenge of trying to keep the big picture and the long term in mind at the same time. So there's a division to win, right? And there's a division to close out, and then once that happens, if that happens, there's a bye to try to secure. I don't want to hear anyone talk about like, well, you don't want the bye because then you get rusty. Like, if there's no Zach Wheeler in the postseason this year. So what I want to do is play as few games as I possibly can, right? Like, I want to have to win as few games as I need to win in order to win the World Series. And so I think getting the bye is important to them, and I think that's something they'll go for. But at the same time, you want to make sure that your starting pitchers are I don't want to say rested, but certainly peaking at the right time, right? So you don't want them to kind of limp or struggle into the postseason because they were overworked down the stretch. Same with your relievers. So I think it's just a matter of doing those two things simultaneously, like locking up the division, trying to get the bye, and also making sure that everyone is in the right spot individually heading into the postseason. So you're kind of reaching your peak rather than trudging your way in.
Scott Lauber from the Inquirer has done a great job, even if he wasn't there last night. He's done a great job all season long. Make sure you read him on InquirerSports.com. Scott, I will probably try to get down the ballpark here in the next couple weeks. I'll see you then.
I will see you then. Thanks.
No problem.
See you both.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Scott Lauber joining us on the Comcast Business Hotline. Late for a break, 610-632-0975. More on the Phillies and more on the situation with the Eagles as they head towards playing the Cowboys next week to open the 2025 season. I'm Kevin Cooney, on with D-Line. This is Fanatic Midday on 97.5 The Fanatic. Friday before Labor Day. Big football
It's
weekend.
actually Haley Taylor Simon.
D's right.
I know.
HTS.
I know. I just,
It's okay.
I don't know.
Kev's probably somebody who always gives somebody a nickname, like doesn't say their full name,
Oh, 100%.
Shortens it.
I could see that.
I'm not that cool. I strive to be that cool, but I'm not that cool where I'm like, Mr. Hey, you.
Anybody ever wonder how in this hockey they
just
always
added
added Y? Coatsy, Jonesy,
Yeah, all the time.
everybody's a Y.
Michi.
Hartsy.
Hartsy. It's unbelievable.
In the locker room, they call Michkov Michi.
There you go.
You just have to add a Y. Kevy. D. I can't.
Yeah, it doesn't work on my last name because I'm Cooney.
It's already there. What do you mean?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I've been called other stuff. That there's all sorts of high school nicknames.
I was going to say, I hope it's appropriate stuff.
Yeah. The dog was one.
I never had anything.
No?
No, I don't think
Really?
so. No, not really.
I used to love when Barkham would call you Denise. Because I didn't know if that was like you liked it. Billy King did it too.
Billy did. But the Billy one is actually kind of interesting because when he did that, I turned around and one time called him William when in fact he's not a William.
He's a Billy?
He's a Billy.
That's it. Wait.
That's his real name.
That's his real name.
That's his given name. So then it became kind of the joke. He would call me Denise knowing I had nothing to come back with. It's kind of cool, to be honest.
Cool.
Silly me, assuming.
That's almost like the most famous press conference in Philadelphia history when Alan called our friend
Philip.
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 And the way he said it was like, Philip.
Yeah, it was great. That's why when I named my boys, I wanted one syllable, thinking I was going to prevent nicknames. Because if it's one syllable, how can you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, they still. So, Bo some people call him Bowie.
Oh, like Ricky Bo? I call him Ricky Bobo.
Oh, there you go.
I'm sure he takes that well.
Well, I don't think he's ever heard me say that. So.
Oh, so you just put it out on the airwaves.
I realize that.
And my other son Max, people say Max Man,
Maxie, Max.
No, they don't do Maxie. I think he would get offended.
That's a compliment.
No,
the nickname I actually liked that stuck the most was one Ted Solari gave me, which was Sparky.
Sparky.
Because there used to be a character on the old Letterman show where he had a 12-year-old named Sparky Mortimer who he would send to games and everything.
I watched Letterman all the time.
Yeah.
I don't remember Sparky.
Sparky Mortimer.
I remember.
Yeah. So Ted called me Sparky because I started when I was 18 working for him. And that's how it kind of got going. So.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, we killed the short segment. 610-632-0975. We'll get to the Cowboys and the Eagles in a minute. Here's Haley with the update. 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Schwarber kept going yard. I'm Haley Taylor Simon with your Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies scored the most runs since 2023 as they dominated the Braves 19-4. Harrison Bader had 4 hits. Aaron Nola surpassed his former teammate. Cole Hamels on the Phillies' all-time strikeout list. But the big story was Kyle Schwarber, who had 4 home runs in a single game. Schwarber is the 21st player in MLB history and 4th in Phillies franchise history to achieve this accomplishment. Take a listen to what Schwarber had to say following the game.
Trying to go hit a homer. I wish I didn't try to that last one. You just stay through the middle of the field and see what happens, and you get some good results. And just got to be able to turn the page tomorrow.
We're under a week away from the Eagles season opener against Dallas. For the Birds, they don't have to worry about Micah Parsons until week 10 as he was traded to the Packers. This update was also brought to you by Mattress Firm. Need better sleep? Upgrade to a premium mattress at Mattress Firm's Labor Day sale, the best sale of the year. They make sleep easy. I'm Haley Taylor Simon on your home of the best Birds coverage on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Welcome back. 1126, 97.5 The Fanatic. Kevin Cooney, D-Line. I'm Haley Taylor Simon with you on this Friday before Labor Day weekend. And the biggest story in sports is not Kyle Schwarber outside of Philadelphia. It is good old Micah Parsons, according to Jerry Jones, who had a press conference last night. And if you can imagine what it's like to watch a man flounder at a press conference who's worth about $17 billion.
Well, the money has nothing to do. There's plenty of people who I don't think are good behind the mic.
Yeah, well, this is it. Here's Jerry last night talking about the freshness of his team.
Well, again, we've certainly got a new coaching staff, and a third of all the players are new. And so obviously there is freshness. We'll use the word new on that basis. But we have the highest paid player in the NFL at quarterback. And we made that commitment last year, and we're proud we made it. It had everything to do with this decision. Mm-hmm. Everything. It is give us every opportunity with Dak Prescott and Lamb and the base that we've got to win now. And so all you need to do, this would, I'm not so sure this would have been results had we not had Dak. But the fact that we have Dak, we need to stop the run. We really do. We need to get the ball back.
Let's start with the...
That was...
Yeah. Let's start with the thing. One, you throw a target again on Dak, which if I'm Dak, I'm going, gee, thanks a lot. You know, I have nothing to do with that side of the ball, and you're throwing me under the bus because I feel confident that, you know, I could get rid of one of the top 5 defensive players in the league because I got a quarterback who's making $70 million who hasn't really gone where I want him to go. But basically, what Jerry did is announce that his team is rebuilding. In whether he wants to say it directly or not, that's what they are at this point.
Well, the crazy part of that, though, is you paid Dak, you paid Lamb.
Yeah.
If you're rebuilding.
You trade for George Pickens, which was another pretty substantial move, who has 1 year left on his deal, too. Yeah. It's a... I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if I'm a Cowboy fan. I have any idea what they're doing because the other part is the 2 draft picks they get, 26 and 27 first-round picks from the Packers. You go, oh, you got first-round picks.
No, but
they're going to be at the back end.
Yeah, they'll be at 26 and 27 somewhere down there.
To me,
if you're the Packers, though,
I was just going to say the balance of the NFC
that changes some things.
Got turned upside down last night a little bit. Not that the Eagles are not the favorite; they are, but there's a clear number 1 contender. And it's Green Bay because of the way that you now throw Parsons in with that defense, which was playing a little better at the end of last year. Played well here, actually, if you think of it. The reason that the Packers lost that wildcard game here was they had no wide receivers left. So
yeah.
A lot of the pressure now goes on Jordan Love to make it work. And the Packers are... I know a lot of people had the Lions as a 2, or they had the Rams as 2 in the NFC, or...
I see why the Lions.
I could see the Lions. I could see the Rams. I could even see the Bucs a little bit before all this. Now it's clear the Packers are the number 2.
Yeah.
And so it'll be interesting to see where this goes. Now, from the Cowboys' perspective, Kirk Herbstreit was on Get Up this morning. This may be among the strangest things I've heard an NFL analyst say, because all of them have buried this move. This is Herbstreit talking about the Cowboys. And we're going to get this up in a minute here. It's loading. Basically, Herbie, who's in Columbus, by the way, for tomorrow for game day in the final Lee Corso game day.
I got to tape that.
Yeah, here is Kirk Herbstreit talking about the Cowboys.
A little bit of a different take. I mean, if you're just going to look at it from the XO standpoint, I mean, you lose a great player physically. Obviously, he could take a game over. But I look at this in a different way. This is a new coach trying to build a new culture, and your alpha, your best player is sitting out in a negotiation that's not working out. And not only that, but just some of the optics of it with some of the things he did during camp. It just wasn't good. And then the drama that's always with Dallas is going on and on and on between he and the organization and Jerry Jones. I think at this point it is probably best to just give him his opportunity to go to another franchise. And then Dallas can almost start over as far as inside the building, the culture of trying to build this thing from the ground up defensively. We know what you guys were just talking about what Dak and that offense can do. But if they're ever going to be a real contender, not only in their division but the NFC, they got to get better defensively. Now you say, how do you get better by losing Micah Parsons? I think you're just looking at that, like physically what he does. But what does he do behind the scenes to the culture of who the Dallas Cowboys are? For Dallas not willing to sign him, it must have been significant enough to say, hey, let's get rid of this guy, even though he's a great player, and let's try to build this thing kind of like the little engine that could, us against the world type of thing. And I know it sounds crazy, but I applaud Dallas in letting him go and trying to build a culture of team instead of an individual. And we'll see what happens with Dallas this year. But I don't think this is a play for 2025. I think it's a play for 25, 26, 27, and beyond.
It's an interesting. There's a problem with that method. Is the main source of the chaos is the owner.
Yeah, which clearly Kirk ignored.
Yeah.
I mean, he ignored that.
Yeah, he did.
So I understand what he's saying.
And Parsons did not cover himself in glory with the way he acted on the sidelines and all that.
No, I get that part of it. But to do that how long was that? Minute and a half at least?
Yeah.
And never, ever mention Jerry Jones' part in this? Ridiculous.
And part of the reason that this happened is because Jones always pushes to the last minute to get something done that would, if they tried to hit it off at the pass, they did that with Prescott, they did this with Lamb. If you want to go back to Emmitt Smith back in the 90s, they always waited to the last minute to get something done. And finally, one of the Cowboy players called his bluff and forced the trade. This is something that, you saw Dak and Jerry caved in, okay? And Jerry caved in. Jerry didn't cave in here, and Micah's basically going, okay, I'm walking out the door. That's it. I'm not going to play for you. And this is all a result of bad planning by the owner / general manager. And Connor Orr, we were talking about this in the back. Connor Orr had a great thing today. It's like he basically said, you take the car keys away from somebody who makes decisions like this, at this age.
Right, but I told you when the value of that franchise is what it is, and they have not been the worst in the league in any stretch of the imagination, you cannot dictate to that man how he does his business.
I think it was Kyle Brandt on NFL Football said that the Cowboys are basically the Jacksonville Jaguars with a like an IMDb score, like something like that, of the effect of that they're living off the past.
Yeah,
but reality, it's not been good for a long time.
I mean, let's see what they are with a healthy quarterback, a new coaching staff. Let's see.
Yeah,
I mean, I have obviously covered when Donald Sterling was forced out in the NBA for real reasons.
Real reasons, yeah.
Not liking how
Dan Snyder, we both saw.
Not liking how somebody does trades or gives up or doesn't give in. I'm not sure it's okay to.
Well, if that's the case, then Mike Brown and the Brown family wouldn't be owning the Bengals for years and years and years.
I covered that team.
Yes, and they are. Look, I mean, the whole Boomer Esiason thing a couple of weeks ago kind of shows how cheap they are. Where
I think that is hysterical.
You do?
I think the fact that he actually went on his show,
right,
and hinted at. He didn't say. He said he originally started with I haven't gotten an invitation. That's how he started.
Right.
And then it was a group email. And then you had to meet a date. I think it was this past week. It was definitely before Labor Day.
Yeah.
Of if you wanted, you could buy 2 more tickets if you wanted.
In the stands, not in a box, in the stands.
And then not putting up, they're not flying them in and then, he was going to try to get on the Jets plane. Yeah.
My favorite part of that was they gave the hotel reservation with the group rate. Like it would be at a wedding. Like, you didn't hear this?
That's horrible.
At the Renaissance, which is, I believe, in Covington, if I'm not mistaken. Like
But a group rate.
Hey, at least it's not the full price.
Well,
now the flip side is
Kevin.
You have to use the AAA discount code, I think, if you're punching it in. I mean, it just...
It was not a good look.
No, but it's the Bengals, so I'm kind of used to it. And Jerry,
and I feel bad because Dave Lapham is one of the guys going into their Ring of Honor, who's a great guy, and
former offensive lineman, correct?
Yeah, great, and has done radio and TV stuff for years. And I know that like the right thing, Boomer should be there because it's a dear friend,
right?
But if you got to do it based on principle.
Yeah, I don't blame him. 610-632-0975. Less than a week away from Eagle Cowboys. Kind of what is your feeling about this team now that cuts are over, now that everything is kind of taken care of?
I mean, I think I saw the line was 6.5.
Yeah.
Has it changed?
I haven't even checked since last night.
Yeah, I think it was 6.5. Honestly, it's a meeting of 2 teams in 2 totally different places, right? All drama in the Cowboys side up to this point. Now they got rid of it, the problem. So they won't bring that to that opening night. But it's hard to say that you could be at your best prepared as a team when your entire summer.
Plus a rookie head coach.
Rookie head coach in Schottenheimer. I don't know this. I just looked up the defensive coordinator for them is Matt Eberflus.
Matt Eberflus, who used to be the coach of the Bears last year. Really? He got fired last year as the coach of the Bears. Yeah.
Huh.
Before they got Ben Johnson in. Yeah. Eberflus is not a bad defensive coordinator. But
he's got his work cut out.
I was just looking. Kenny Clark is 31 years old. He's kind of on the other side. Dante Fowler, Deron Bland, Trayvon Diggs. I mean, they're okay, but they're not going to have any pass rush. That's part of the Marshawn Nealon. I mean, there's some holes there. There's some real holes. And
I hope the Eagles though start by trying to run it down their throat.
And
it was a formula that worked so well for you last year. Why would I get away from that?
Yeah, and we'll get into that on the other side. 610-632-0975. We're the midday show for today here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. It's Bill Colarulo.
7-5, The Fanatic. Glad you could join us on this day before the Labor Day weekend. A lot of people actually do have off today. Some schools are back, some aren't.
No, my kids.
Your kids are at school?
Well, one's in college.
Right.
He's back. And, they started on Monday.
Yeah. I started Monday. We're off today for the longer weekend, so.
I don't think my kid is off.
For college or
his high school?
High school. No. Some schools are not off.
So. I mean, he should be off on Monday.
Yeah, everybody's off Monday, I think.
Not us.
Not us. No. But the rest of the weekend, it's not a big
the whole thing's good.
Yeah. All right, so now that the rosters are set, pretty much, Bryn Covey comes in. I would think he's going to be the punt returner. He's on the practice squad, but they're going to probably do the roster roulette kind of deal that they tend to do early in the season to keep it around 70 and bring guys up to add to the 53 and all that for opening night. How comfortable are you with the way this roster is looking at this point? I think offensively, maybe I'm a little worried about backup offensive linemen, but there's no real weakness. The weakness right now is right corner because you don't know what you're going to get, obviously, out of Adoree Jackson at this point and Jacorian Bennett.
Yeah, so I think because things have been kind of so quiet this summer, you feel the need to find a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get it.
And depth at certain positions, that's fair.
Edge rusher would be another.
Yeah. I'm looking at their depth chart.
I mean, edge rusher and corner, I think, are the two glaring ones right now. I mean, you can dig beneath the surface on offensive line and probably find that you're not super comfortable there, but, they're five. If they're five are healthy, they're the best offensive line in football.
Right. So it really does come down to the depth. And, I would say you were fortunate last year to go pretty good injury-wise.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
I would say, though, I am worried. I'm worried about right corner, and especially with the Cowboy matchup because of George Pickens and obviously CD. One's going to get Mitchell on them, and I'm not worried that'll be a worried.
And let me ask you a question. You said Adoree Jackson
he'll be the starter.
He will.
Yeah.
Keely's not so.
Well, Keely, no. It'll probably be Bennett would be the second option at this point. I think Keely has kind of played his way onto special teams only at this point.
All right.
But, look, we haven't focused on this a ton, but Mora Jomo, Nolan Smith, Azeez Ojulari, Jalix Hunt, Josh Uche. Somebody out of that group has to step up after losing Josh Sweat from last year.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I feel comfortable right now that any of them are going. Hunt is probably the guy I'm closest to saying, okay.
You want to count on him?
I could somewhat count on him. The rest of them are big unknowns. And for this team and the way that this system plays, I need my outside guys getting there because that Fangio's not going to blitz.
I was just going to say, though, then it becomes in Fangio, I trust.
Yeah.
And that's.
Yeah. Look, they're very good. They're the best team in the NFC, if not the NFL. You can make an argument Baltimore's roster is as good as them. You could probably make an argument on Buffalo. I don't know if I can make that argument on Kansas City, by the way.
Really?
No.
Oh, by the way, how did I get this far into this show? What did you think about the engagement?
Oh, no comment.
I mean, I'm happy for them. That's awesome.
Can you imagine that wedding? Oh, my God.
You know what I don't...
Is Jason the best man?
He has to be.
Who's her maid of honor? Does she have siblings?
See, this is how little I know. I don't know. Is she still friends with Selena Gomez? I don't know.
Sabrina Carpenter was her opening act. Why not her?
Wait, you know more than I do, Kevin.
I live with a 23-year-old girl or 24-year-old girl.
Is Mama Kelsey in the wedding party?
Oh, wow.
I was just annoyed about how much it flooded my timeline. I couldn't see anything else besides that. And it was MLB schedule release day.
Oh, well, it's MLB schedule release day.
I have some trips to maybe plan.
Wait a minute. What is MLB schedule release
It
day?
was Tuesday.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Let me put it this way. I'm happy for him. I wish him nothing but the best. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Oh, both of them.
Well, first of all, it also came
I don't need you at the game, at the Nebraska-Cincinnati game last night, showing off in the box and no,
They
I don't.
weren't showing off. They were just sitting.
Well, you know what? If you want to sit in a box there, then there's plenty of room behind, not first row on the glass.
They would find them wherever they sat. Please.
They going to go to the U.S. Open as well? Do what they did last year? I'm just tired of it.
Living their lives.
I live my life. Nobody bothers me.
The U.S. Open shows people all the time. What are you talking about?
I know. I just don't need. I don't. It's
why
it's
single out
too much.
just them?
It's just, you know what? And honestly, it's just too much of maybe the podcast, maybe all of it. Maybe it's just.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the podcast, to be honest with you. You listen to it, Heights?
No.
I actually don't mind it.
Oh.
Like when they actually have a series. I didn't.
Jason's good. He
I
carries it.
Yeah, I didn't need 2 hours of Taylor and.
Did you watch it live?
No.
Oh, come on, Kev.
No.
1.3 million people were watching it live, according to Adam Schefter.
Again, it was on my TV downstairs live.
I haven't watched it.
It was on my TV downstairs live because I had 2 people in my house who wanted to watch it live. I went upstairs and watched the Phillies.
Didn't she say on that she has a new album coming out, right?
Yeah, what a coincidence.
Yeah. Well, she's a brilliant marketing person. As a businesswoman, I'm sorry. You got to respect business.
Absolutely.
She's brilliant.
And she's a great talent. She is. Her music is, I'm just, you know what it is? I'm one of those, when I watch a football game, I want to watch a football game.
Yeah.
I don't need the constant cutaway.
But that's not her fault.
But that is not her fault. And let's face it, and I would say that all sports have moved in this direction, but the NFL in particular, just look at their Super Bowl, right? Yeah. It is as much about the entertainment as it is about the 2 teams that finally get there after 17 games throughout the year, And the NBA All-Star has become a ridiculous show.
Yeah.
So I would say blame the organizations as much as you want to blame who, they're trying to cash in on.
Crazy idea. Have the sports be focused on the sports.
Yeah, but it would not, the money wouldn't be the same if it was just sport. It wouldn't.
No.
Wouldn't sell merchandise the same way.
Oh,
I mean,
the Taylor Swift thing for the NFL has been a godsend. It's brought a ton. Look, again, my stepdaughter doesn't give a damn about football. She doesn't. She'll watch Chiefs games because Taylor might beat her.
Oh.
I'm just being real. Isn't it great? Isn't it lovely?
Do we think that he picked out the ring? I doubt it. She did.
Well, at least one of them got a ring this year.
He 100% was going to propose if the Chiefs won the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. It would have been the line,
yeah.
And they're going to Disneyland or whatever.
Yeah, so I'm so much more excited that the Eagles won the Super Bowl just so that was crushed.
Yeah.
Love.
Love. Where did your husband propose, Theo?
My parents' house.
Oh, that was such a great story, D.
Remember? Because
I remember you telling that. I proposed at Valley Forge.
In the park?
In the park during the fall.
Oh, nice.
That's nice.
Right at the chapel there, actually.
I like that.
Yeah.
Did I tell you that my Airbnb on my vacation was a former chapel?
Really?
And it had all this religious memorabilia in it. Crosses on the wall, rosaries hanging from something.
I'm not sure I'd like that.
My son did not like it. He's
all.
like, this is creepy. I said,
The old Catholic school boy in me would have been scared to death. 610 632-0975. Boy, that segment, again, kind of went off the rails from where I wanted it to go. But, hey, God bless the kids. I hope they don't ask for a gift. I'm Kev. That's D. Here's Haley with an update. 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Schwarber kept going yard. I'm Haley Taylor Simon with your Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies scored the most runs since 2023 as they dominated the Braves 19-4. Harrison Bader had 4 hits. Aaron Nola surpassed his former teammate Cole Hamels with the Phillies' all-time strikeout list. But the big story was Kyle Schwarber, who had 4 home runs in a single game. Schwarber is the 21st player in MLB history and 4th in Phillies franchise history to achieve this accomplishment. Listen to what Schwarber had to say following the game.
You're not trying to go hit a homer. I wish I didn't try to do that last one. You just stay through the middle of the field and see what happens, and you get some good results. And just got to be able to turn the page tomorrow.
We are under a week away from the Eagles' season opener at home against Dallas. For the Birds, they don't have to worry about Micah Parsons until Week 10, as he was traded to the Packers. Scott Lauber joined the show earlier today, and that full interview is on YouTube or 975thefanatic.com. This update is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. Looking for an exceptional driving experience? Experience the power, precision, and intelligence of an iconic Mercedes-Benz SUV at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer today. I'm Haley Taylor Simon on your home of the best Birds coverage on 97.5 The Fanatic and 975thefanatic.com.
97.5 The Fanatic. Kevin Cooney along with Dee Lynam, Haley Taylor Simon on this Friday afternoon. Taking you up to Unfiltered at 2 o'clock with Bill Colarulo, Ricky Batalco. Ricky was excited last night. Actually, Ricky's not here today. It's Andrew Checo is in today because Ricky's got jury duty again.
Wow.
It's like his 5th time in 5 years, I heard.
Well, this is why he was so angry when I saw him a couple of weeks ago.
He's angry at everything.
Yeah, but this time he was more angry than usual. And
how can you tell? Does he like turn into the Incredible Hulk or something? Okay.
He's scary. Like Ricky Batalco angry is scary, in my opinion.
No. Anyway, as we get into the noon hour, by the way, what VFW hall do you think the Kelsey Swift wedding will be at?
Wow. Honestly, when you are that kind of couple,
Pebble Beach.
Do we all agree that it will be live streamed for all of us to see? Just like,
I hope not.
I did get up and watch.
Who's the hater now?
No, I'm just.
Who's the hater now? She called me a Taylor Swift hater in the hallway.
Yes.
And now suddenly when you bring up whether it's going to be live streamed or not, I hope not.
Well, no, because you said no one should be giving them gifts. What if Taylor's mom has like a necklace or something?
They're worth $10 billion. What do they need?
Sometimes a gift isn't worth the money in life. Sometimes it's the thought that counts.
I have no answer for that. D?
It is. I agree with the thought that counts. Like I try to think of, I have plenty of people, not to the extent, but you think to yourself, they have everything they need.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean I don't want to still come up with something cool
that's true.
to give.
A reminder, you're listening to WPN and WPN HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. Let's get back to the Phillies. And Johnny and Alney. Johnny, hold on. It's not clicking for me, dear Hale. Hold on. Did the phone lines go down? Let me try Dom first here. Dom, Tasty Cake. Dom in Williamstown. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, Kev.
Hi, Dom. How are you?
I'm in a remarkably great mood.
Have you been invited to the Kelsey Swift wedding?
Well, I'm watching a great show. You're doing a show with two pretty ladies that know a lot about sports, so I'm enjoying that. And considering the fact that, right, Kev, Game 1 against the Mets, your ace goes out and throws underhanded for 6 innings. Game 2, your big-time closer goes out, can't get an out. In Game 3, your right-handed bats look paralyzed. So coming out of the Mets series wasn't looking too good, and then you get that explosion last night.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. You wondered how they would react. I wanted to see how they reacted after getting, like, pantsed in New York. And they reacted well. And, you know, the only real concern I took out of it was Nola in the first inning. But I guess, you know, it's not the end of the world. And he actually did get through 5 and looked pretty decent after that. He gave up the home run to Olsen. But, you know, it was a good night for them.
I got 2 other things for you, Kev. Number one, that game where Schmidt hit 4, if my memory serves me right, I think Kingman hit 3 in the same game.
Yeah, it was extra innings. It was 6. Or no, wait. Was the Kingman won the 23-22 game in 79?
Okay.
I'll look that up, but
I remember Schmidt and Kingman were like trading home runs in one game. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, some of them were just crazy. Some of those games back in the, I don't know what it was about the 70s about it, but that some of their games in the 70s at Wrigley were just crazy. Dom, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the call. The Schmitty, by the way, Schmitty and Chuck Klein did theirs in 10 innings. So Schwarber is the only one who's done it as a Philly in 9.
Right, I heard them say that last night.
And the modern era. Ed Delahanty, by the way, also hit 2 inside the parks home runs as part of his crew here, or his 4 home run game back in, I think it was 1899. I saw. So, Johnny and Alney. Johnny, now I got you. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Kev.
Hi, Johnny.
Oh, man, good to hear you. D, good to hear your voice again, as usual. Haley, shout out to you. First, I want to start off with shout out to you with the tattoo. You are a dog. I didn't know that about you. I'm afraid of needles as well. And for you to get a tattoo, what was it, the Eagles?
Yeah, it's the Roman numerals for 52 and 59.
Nice. Respect. So you're officially tougher than me, and I already knew that, so cold-blooded. Okay, yeah, let me get right into it, Kev, man, because at the end of the day, I remember I talked to D about this before. The last time we spoke on the Phillies, I was scared about Ranger Suarez because he was in a bit of a slump. Didn't happen a good month other than 2 games. It's Nola that's the problem, which is to my surprise. Like, here we go, another Philadelphia athlete that takes the money and just folds.
Well, and I'll say this with Nola. He did miss 3 months, and I think coming back, expecting him to be the Aaron Nola from 3 years ago is probably a little extreme, but I do need to see a little more improvement here as he moves forward. He's going to pitch in Milwaukee next week. Well, no, actually, he'll pitch this weekend. Yeah. No, let's see. Today's Friday. He'll pitch in Milwaukee next week. So I need to see him improve against the Brewers next week. That, by the way, a really big series for what this team may do the rest of the way. So sorry about that.
And I was about to say that'll be definitely the measuring stick. Definitely the measuring stick. I wanted to shout out Bader because we were talking about bringing up that kid, and I was like, yo, this kid Bader continues to have a good bat. He's already a better fielder than Nicky C. There's no need for us to call down, right? If Bader continues to be hot like this, right?
No, I don't see. And Johnny, thanks for the call. I don't see a way that you call Crawford up at this point unless you're bringing him up like as a pinch runner or something late in the season. Now the rosters are going to expand a couple players. Maybe you bring him up just so you can use his speed like as a pinch runner or something, but that's about it. Would you agree with that, D?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they don't. There's no urgency to get him up, and Andrew Painter's not going to be up this year. I think that's pretty clear now that we've hit September. And by the way, the Iron Pigs are also going to be playing in a playoff race as we get into September as well. They got 3 weeks left, so they'll probably want Paint. The plan will be that Painter pitches perhaps in the postseason for Lehigh Valley, and that'll be the end of his year.
It's a long time in the waiting for that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying they're not doing the right thing by him, but
yeah, I mean, he's going to have to be here next year because you're going to lose Ranger. I don't know if you're going to have Wheeler right away at the beginning of the year. Maybe he's up in May or something after, his rehab. You're going to need Painter next year, so get him right down there. Don't just rush him to rush him. I think there's that he's the shiny object, and I think that everybody wants to see him as quick as possible, but there's also a point where if you bring him up and he's bad, then you ruin him in a lot of ways. So I don't necessarily want to see that happen either. 610-632-0975. We're getting to the point where the fall sports and the winter sports are coming back, and
crossover.
And we're going to have a little crossover of sports. So in the next segment, we'll get to the Sixers and the Flyers as camps are maybe a month away for the Sixers.
Less
than a month away.
Yeah, because they go to Dubai, so they're going to have it like September 22nd.
And the Flyers are 2 weeks away from camp, I believe.
Yeah, a few weeks away.
Yeah, and we'll kind of get a feel for where the winter teams are, where the mindset of the winter teams are as we head into Labor Day and the change of season, if you will.
By the way, Tuesday they renamed the building down there, Xfinity Mobile.
Yes, I saw that.
Oh, I'll be down there for that.
I am too.
Oh, okay. I'll see you then.
I just want to see the
signage.
Yeah, the whole thing.
It's exciting.
I mean, it's been this for a long time, Wachovia. But remember in the beginning.
Well, Wells Fargo. It's been Wells Fargo.
Wells Fargo, I'm sorry. But back, like Core States. Wachovia, First Union.
Seriously, they have now had, this is the fifth name, correct?
Yeah, since it went up.
In
Wells Fargo was
30,
I would say.
30,
97 it opened.
So 28 years, 5 names.
Actually, that doesn't feel like that's that bad.
Used to drive Ed Snyder crazy.
It was a lot of names in a very short
time, and it drove him crazy.
Yeah.
I'm Kev. That's D. We're back after this on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Kincade and Salciunas.
The Fanatic. All right, so I mentioned this last segment. We are under a month until both the Sixers and Flyers return for practice. The Sixers are going on a trip to, what was it, Dubai? Where are they going? Dubai.
Dubai, yes.
Yeah. In games. I did find it interesting that they had more national TV games than I thought they would, given the situation. Maybe because
but there's so many networks now. It's
right.
Like you got to put somebody on.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot like NBC put them in some prime spots. Mainly, the one thing I could tell, a lot of it was after Christmas. A lot of and I wonder if they know something we don't about the situation, both with Paul George and Joel Embiid moving forward here.
Well, I mean, to be left out of the Christmas Day stuff, to be left out of Martin Luther King Day.
Right.
That says to me that they're not counting on this being a strong product. Now, I didn't look to see if it was heavier after Christmas, but I would also maybe they're counting on their young talent becoming, especially after OKC.
Right.
watching those young guys become what they became.
It's a copycat league.
Yeah. So, you do have a Maxey. You do have Edgecombe. Hopefully, Jared McCain is what he showed to be last year. I don't know.
Are they? When do you think the next update we get on either Georgia or Embiid will be?
September
Media day?
22nd. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That.
I think.
Let me put it this way: I would think if they're both kind of making significant progress, we'll get an update before then. But yeah,
no, we won't.
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
Well,
I'm just saying if they can stay quiet, they always do.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
It's not a great circumstance for them going into the year because you don't know what you're going to get from those two. And as important as the young guys are, those are still They're the two engines right now that this team is built upon. Two of the three pillars, if you will. If they're going to make any significant noise in an Eastern Conference that I think we both agree is somewhat wide open right now.
Because of injuries.
Because Boston has made some changes.
But they won't have Tatum.
No.
Obviously, Milwaukee is an unknown right now.
Indiana without Halliburton.
Yep. And I think Cleveland's still good.
The Knicks.
Did you know that they interviewed Dawn Staley?
Yes, I saw that yesterday. And she would have taken the job if it was offered. But she also said she openly grilled them of, are you ready for the first women coach? And she goes, I looked at him and it was like, yeah, they kind of figured out they weren't quite ready for it yet.
I think that's crazy.
I think that they're not ready?
I just think that it wouldn't, if it's her, and I think she's very deserving of it, I think the world would be ready for her.
Yeah, I think they would, but I could also see an organization like the Knicks in a big market going, maybe we don't want to handle all the media smoke that goes with something like that. I could see them doing. Look, Jim Dolan's not exactly the most progressive person.
And I got you. Instead, what he has done on multiple times is, and I say this not trying to be mean, but most of his hires have been redrudging.
Oh, yeah. And Mike Brown is that, too.
Yeah.
If you want to look at it.
I mean, Tibbs was that.
Yeah.
Woodson was that, even though I think Woodson was really their last.
Larry. Isaiah.
So,
yeah, you're right. You go down the line. Van Gundy may be the last kind of fresh hire they had.
And that was a lifetime ago.
It was 26, 27 years ago. Yeah, after Pat left. And hell, even Pat, if you want to go.
I know, but Pat, that he was suave. I mean.
Oh, he was near cool.
If you can go get the Lakers
guy, Showtime.
Yeah. I mean, that I get.
And then he promptly went from Showtime to bully ball, which is the ironic part of it. All right, Hale, I'll give you the Flyers minute here. Go ahead.
All right, so new season underway with head coach Rick Tocchet. Now, for the Flyers, it's really interesting, and I still don't believe that this is a playoff team at all. Kevin D, I think that this is a team that's going to struggle. They're going to be among some of the worst. However, there is still that talent within Matvei Michkov that's going to captivate fans to at least tune in. So on that aspect, I would say that's the bright spot. Now we also have the Olympics. Travis Konechny, Travis Sanheim look like they're going to be playing for Team Canada, and that's a really big deal. But for the Fly Guys this season, I just don't see them being entertainment.
At some point, this has to move forward. Like, I get they're in
next offseason.
Because they'll have a ton of capital.
Yes.
Or they'll have a lot of salaries coming off the books. My argument is, okay, the product, though, just has to be more appealing to watch. And, yes, Michkov makes you want to watch a little bit. If you want to talk about Zegras as well, maybe he makes it a little more of a curiosity. But there's also a lot of guys here who probably won't be here when they actually do get good again.
No, and I think with Trevor Zegras, I think that he has a lot of potential, a lot of upside, but with how, and I hate saying injury prone, I hate that, but he's had to deal with some injuries.
But he is.
And he is, and I think that's a fair statement to make that I can 100% say he's going to be worth watching throughout the entirety of the season.
They start officially on October 9th in Florida. Good luck. Against the two-time defending Stanley Cup champion. Are they the banner night for them or not?
No. However, the Flyers, I believe, home opener is against the Panthers.
On a Monday night.
Yep. So that should be a fun start to the season.
Yeah.
They're October 9th. The Sixers are October
22nd.
Is it that?
Yeah.
It's in October.
Yeah.
That feels so far.
It's at Boston.
Yeah. Gulp.
Yeah.
Flyers' first 4 games. Panthers on the road. Hurricanes on the road, who's a perennial conference finalist. Panthers back at home. Jets, who were the conference finalists in the West. So.
Oh, I know about those Jets.
Yeah. 610-632. Actually, were they conference finalists or did they get to the semifinals? They lost to Dallas.
They lost to Dallas in the second round.
Yeah.
They defeated the Blues in Game 7 in the first round.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. Yeah.
No, but that's embarrassing. You shouldn't have to go to 7 if you're the President Trophy winning team.
Yeah. Coming up next, we'll get back to the Phils. We'll also get back to the Eagles as well. I'm Kev. That's D. Here's Haley with an update. 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Will the Bats stay alive for Game 2? I'm Haley Taylor Simon with your Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies are back in action tonight after a dominant Game 1 against the Braves. Ranger Schwarber is on the mound for the Phils as he's going up against Bryce Elder for the Braves. Kyle Schwarber spoke about the Phillies' mentality as a team. Take a listen.
I just feel like we all buy into our group that, we're not worried about anyone else except ourselves.
First pitch is at 6:45. Again, Game 2 out of 4 in the series. We're under a week away from Eagles season opener at home against Dallas. For the Birds, they don't have to worry about Micah Parsons until week 10 as he Packers. At Eagles practice yesterday, Landon Dickerson, knee, and A.J. Brown hamstring were practicing for the second consecutive day. This update was brought to you by Mattress Firm. Need better sleep? Upgrade to a premium mattress at Mattress Firm's Labor Day sale, the best sale of the year. They make sleep easy. I'm Haley Taylor Simon on your home of the best Birds coverage on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
The Fanatic, Kevin Cooney, and for Ray Dunn today. On with D. Lynam. We are the midday show. Ray is back on Tuesday. We're back here on Monday.
So if you're in for Ray, who am I in for?
Colarulo?
No.
Since Ray was actually, well, never mind. We won't go down the timeline.
Am I Brendan Gunn?
Is that who it normally is right now? Ray,
Gunn,
Ray and Brendan?
Or Sean
but Brendan
or Austin.
Brendan's only doing nights now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because Brendan's got, what I guess they call another job. So, actually, Brendan and I are doing postgame this year.
That's exciting.
That's fun.
Yeah, we're going to do postgame. Going to be fun to see him walk into work on next Friday at 7 a.m. when he has to be in, when he's probably going to be here till about 2:30 in the morning. Because that game will go super late.
Yeah.
I have a doctor's appointment that day. I have scheduled the doctor's appointment for my mom that day. Not
the day after?
The day after.
Okay.
At about noon.
Oh, that's not bad.
No.
I thought you were about to be like 7 a.m.
No. But I could take a personal day at work because I have to. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to take mom to the doctor's. So. We have our Twitter poll, Hale. Let's get back to that and kind of see where we are as far as the greatest individual performances. I'm interested if people went off the board of what we chose on the 4.
All right, so this is the Twitter poll again at 97.5 The Fanatic. What is the greatest individual game by a Philadelphia athlete in the 21st century? Right now, we have Halliday's playoff no-no at 65%, Schwarber's 4-home run game last night at 10%, and Embiid's 70 points versus the Spurs, 5%. And then, of course, Saquon Barkley's 255-yard game, 20%. We have a couple of write-ins, actually. And this is for Matt. And Matt doesn't give necessarily an answer, but states 3 out of the 4 required teammates to step up. So Schwarber is the most individual stat.
I don't know if Halliday's playoff no-hitter required a ton of teammates to step up.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because he had 9 strikeouts. They had very few balls. There wasn't a serious,
where somebody had to go above and beyond to make it stay in place.
So, but yeah, the Embiid 70-point game, you were there that night. I mean, I remember getting in on it late.
Yeah. I mean, I think anything that happens of major in the postseason stands out a little more. Like Kobe had 80.
81, yeah.
81. Well, Wilt had 100.
Right. That was on Sunday night. I think the night of the NFC and AFC championship games is what I remember, against the Raptors.
Yeah, Kobe's.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of other. In basketball, it's more like game-winning situations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that guy who wrote in and said, why did I not say John Smith scoring the layup against DePaul?
Yeah. He said Indiana, but it was DePaul.
It was DePaul. They got.
I think you would know that one.
They got their butt. Yeah. Do you know what the final score of that game was?
I want to say in the 40s, wasn't it?
49-48.
Yeah.
Skip Dillard missed 2 free throws. He was a 90% free throw shooter.
Imagine how big that would be in this modern era of college basketball, where the tournament took off really after that, because that was 81, right?
Yeah.
Actually, I forgot that you guys.
I was there.
Yeah, you guys, St. Joe's, obviously, we're talking here.
Yeah.
If you win the next game, you go to the Final Four, which was in Philadelphia, correct?
It was going to be at the Spectrum.
Yeah.
Instead, they got beat by Isaiah Thomas and Indiana and Bob Knight by 40.
And then Indiana came here and won the national title.
Yep.
Which I was actually at that game. It's one of my youngest sports memories. I was 7. And I went to the national championship game on that Monday night, which everybody remembers if you were alive, because it was the night Ronald Reagan was shot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And the game almost got postponed.
Wow.
I don't know why I remember it that way, but I do. So, never mind the fact James Worthy, Isaiah Thomas, Bobby Knight, Sam Perkins, I think, was there for North Carolina that night. It was Indiana, North Carolina. It was Dean and Bobby Knight.
Wow.
As coaches. So,
I mean, in hindsight, that's pretty remarkable.
That is pretty remarkable. I think I may have asked this of you before, but your number one individual game, it doesn't have to be Philadelphia, but.
I said that I thought Halladay would win this Twitter running away, which he is.
Right.
Individual nights, I mean, I was there for the Leitner shot.
Wow. Okay. And by the way, that is 10 for 10 from the 10 for 10 from the floor, 10 for 10 from the foul line, I believe.
It was incredible. So that's
pretty good.
Yeah. And I had a great seat.
Really?
Section U in the lower bowl. I think basically my parents had Sixers season tickets because he was the coach.
Was he the coach or the GM at that point?
I think he was a coach.
Okay.
And anyhow, somehow they had their same 4 seats.
4 seats?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. As I said, Halladay would be there. Like it's different to say like best performance and best moment. Best moment to me is the Chris Jenkins shot. Seeing that in person in Houston, covering that Final Four for when Villanova won it. By the way, in case you're wondering, Jay Wright did resign from CBS and TNT as part of their NCAA tournament coverage.
I hadn't really noticed that he was on TNT. It must have been during
just for the tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a combined
entity. Yeah.
Return the coaching rumors.
No.
Come on, let me have fun.
Oh, you can, but I mean, if he's stepping down from that to be more focused on helping Villanova in a consultant role, he wants to spend more time doing fun things in life, not working more.
That's true, because he actually made a decent salary with
and he really loved the people he worked with. I mean, they would always post pictures of where they were, having dinner the night before the game or whatnot. But it's travel, it's every week, and I think he earned the right to want to just step back a little bit.
Yeah, but it's going to be out there. You know that the first major college opening that comes up.
I'm just telling you, I don't think so.
Okay. Haley, what else do we got here?
All right, so we have some YouTube comments checking in.
Go ahead.
And listen.
Hi, YouTubers.
I love the YouTube chat. Hi, guys. But some of the names on this chat, I don't know how to pronounce necessarily, so I'm just going to say Raw, because I don't know if it's...
Right. Raw Cipher.
Cipher? Okay. McNabb on a broken ankle versus Arizona. We have MP who stated that the plate ump stepped up in Doc's no-no. Which, I don't know if I...
Would 4th and 26 count for anything?
As a moment, yeah. Both of us were at 4th and 26. Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, T.O. would have been a good one. Like, if you're going to say an individual performance by a Philadelphia athlete, T.O. in the Super Bowl was out of this world great, And he would have been the MVP if the Eagles had found a way to win that game in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
There's a lot of... We've actually, Haley, you and I mentioned this before. Watching Nick Foles throw 7 touchdowns against the Raiders on a random Sunday was really kind of cool too, because he had gone, that kind of vaulted him into securing at that point the starting quarterback job, if you will, and then of course Chip traded him away for no apparent reason. So for Sam Bradford. So 610-632-0975. You have a hockey one, you said?
Yep, Simone Gagne. We're talking Game 7 Eastern Conference Finals 2010. And it was just a really impressive series overall, but Gagne was playing with an injured...
The semifinals against the Bruins.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Right.
Playing with an injured toe.
Okay.
So, I mean, it was one of those goals I look back and I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that series lives on because they rallied from 3-0 down. It's also the blip of what this franchise has been between 1997 and now. It's the one... They had one really hot month, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I also think that any Game 7...
Oh, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We both have covered Game 7s. And
in the 0-1, you had two incredible
back-to-back
in the building.
Yeah, when the Carter shot bounced off the back rim, that building became insane. And what's scary...
Well, Glenn Robinson missing the shot, too.
And was that
Milwaukee?
Was that Game 5 or was that Game
5?
Yeah, because they blew him out in Game 7. I remember that because Allen was able to get the hug from Larry on the side, and
I remember them standing on the court,
yeah,
celebrating because then they were off to the finals.
Am was there.
Oh yeah, that's my boy.
That's my boy.
Oh, Kev D, really fast. This is from Dawood. We love Dawood calls it all the time. He says, the Miracle in the Meadowlands.
Part 2.
Part 2.
Which was the Deshaun Jackson game. That was kind of cool.
Yep.
Because they rallied they were down 20. They were down 24, I think, going into the fourth quarter in that game. It was pretty. And that was the game I think everybody felt that all right, this is the time. Eagles, Michael Vick was on a redemption tour and all that. And then suddenly they lost to Joe Webb and the Vikings in a snow-delayed game the following week, and everything kind of went to hell after that. So, 610-63. I just saw MB mention Steph Curry versus Serbia last year, which was also pretty good in the Olympics.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was good.
They wouldn't win that game without him.
No.
He's not been the same since, but...
Well, Steph Curry? Oh, Steph's been pretty good. But
oh, no.
Embiid. Yeah, Embiid against Serbia was actually pretty good, too. So.
Oh.
Yeah, he was terrific.
But Steph, you're right. Steph was remarkable.
Lights out.
Oh, my God.
Yep. When we come back, we got to talk. We'll get back to the Phillies here, and I'll talk about it in this regard. Do we give Rob Thompson enough credit or not? Because everybody panicked and wanted to throw him out the door here yesterday. And suddenly this team looked like it had life again last night. I think sometimes people just go a little too far with Rob Thompson. We'll talk about that on the other side. I'm Kevin Cooney with D. Lynam and Haley Taylor-Simon. This is Midday Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. Noon Hour is brought to you by Service First HVAC. Offering 0% financing for 48 months, rebates and tax credits up to $4,300. When purchasing a new heating and cooling system, learn more at servicefirsthvac.com. Almost forgot to do that, Haley. Almost forgot the read.
But you did it.
I did.
And that's what counts.
That's true. Rob Thompson, you brought up an interesting thing earlier about Topper and about how you like his personality and you like the way he handles himself. And I think
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we both do. I actually like a manager who doesn't like being the center of attention. Like you and I.
Charlie was that.
Yeah. You and I had this thing with Sirianni as a head coach last year where.
Last year he got good.
Yeah, but the year before.
Yeah.
I'm saying last, calendar.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
To me, I do like the fact that he's got a little dignity and he doesn't air all the dirty laundry and all that. It's the opposite of what John Tortorella was, basically, at the end. But I almost wonder if it doesn't play in this town because I think everybody expected him to, tip over the buffet table, which, by the way, they don't really have anymore, at least in a public area. All this stuff that people expect, they all want Larry Boa or Dallas Green.
See,
it doesn't happen in this sport anymore.
Well, I'll go back to something you said, and that was be careful what you wish for.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Gabe Kapler. Gabe Kapler was fascinating for all the wrong reasons.
He wasn't fascinating in any way for me.
Well, fascinating because it's like, how did you become a major league manager? That's the definition of fascinating I go by. It's like a case study. How's that?
All right.
I like case study.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Academic terms. We're both professors, It
is true.
Ugh.
I mean, but yeah, there was nothing about Kapler to fascinate you at all?
No. I
he
thought
was wired different.
He was self-absorbed. He said crazy things. I bet I could probably go to my board here and find something. What's the one?
Hold on.
Something beautiful.
Love it.
There's one.
Well, that's.
I mean, look, he was a different dude. He was a guy, and I'll never forget seeing Harper's face when the curveball machine got mentioned, and Harper did the roll of the eyes like, oh, God. Like, Topper, you don't have to worry about that. You don't.
One of my favorite Gabe stories is when I still had to go and get sound because people were taking off. So I was the person who had to go over there. Anyhow, they had a day off the day before, and he said that he went up to Reading or Lehigh, and so the phrase said, hey, that's a busman's holiday. He had no idea what a busman's holiday is.
I don't understand what you mean.
Never heard of it. So then it became, of course, he had to make it a whole conversation about, who knows what a busman's holiday is. And basically, it showed the age difference of people.
Well, my favorite part was the ice cream story. You've heard that one.
No. What was that one?
He would buy an ice cream cone. He would lick it and then, spit it out because he wanted the taste and the sweet sense. But he didn't
not
want
the calories?
Not the calories.
What a weirdo.
I look at him like, I have no problem with that.
That's weird.
Oh, well, yeah.
See, that wouldn't do it for me. I'd rather have the discipline to not have an ice cream cone and once a year do it.
And Girardi was different because he was so high strung. Like when Girardi came in here, I think everybody thought, it's a guy who Girardi was so high strung, his team played that way. And that's why they ultimately will fall apart all the time. Was the fact that they just, there was a point where Joe was just so manic about everything that's why it all kind of crumbled the way it did. Also, in fairness for Joe, his first year ended up being the COVID year. And
Was it?
Oh, yeah, in 20.
I would not have remembered that.
His first year was the COVID year, the shortened year, and it felt like he was behind the 8 ball right away. So, I'll say that about Joe. But, this town's very weird by who it likes and doesn't like as coaches or managers.
Well, let's face it. Charlie, he took a lot of – he's beloved post everything. But he took a lot of grief for the way he talked and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, especially from certain reporters in this town at that time.
I mean, obviously, winning changed everything, right?
Yeah, I think so. And I think he also was just relatable to a point where he, he kind of didn't BS you.
Yeah.
But he also was very, he was also very, grandfatherly,
Yo, man, we love you.
There you go.
I love that.
That's from the
I have a
parade
great
speech.
picture of me and Charlie at Fan Fest a couple years ago.
Really?
I get that one framed.
You should.
Yeah.
He still sends me a Christmas card.
Wait, that's so nice.
Wait,
So
wait.
nice.
You still get one?
Yeah.
I don't anymore.
Really?
This is how you found out, too.
I know.
Oh, my God. Well, let's just his better half.
I thought we were close.
His better half might be the reason I still get it.
Oh, Missy, yeah.
Yeah,
Missy.
Because I've done a couple of.
By the way, he is the only coach who's ever sent me a Christmas card. The only one.
Brett Brown sent me a handwritten letter when I was no longer at my job. Handwritten.
The kid is a
I
baller.
keep that.
I love Brett.
That's a
I
good
love
one.
Brett.
Yep.
Swagger.
He had the best accent. Let's face it. Boston and Australian, it's just a really cool accent.
That was James Butler. I remember Jimmy did not like that one.
No.
No. My name is Jimmy, not James.
Well, that's the similar to
Oh, Billy.
Billy. He's a Billy, not William.
What a
the world we live in. Oh, wait. We have text messages?
Oh, we have text. We have text on Iverson and the Phillies. We'll get that on the other side as we start the 1 o'clock hour. I'm Kev. That's D. Haley has an update. 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Will the Bats stay alive for Game 2? I'm Haley Taylor Simon with your Fanatic Sports Update, and this update is brought to you by Groundworks, your trained and certified experts for basement, rooter, roofing, and foundation repairs since 1997. Book your free inspection at groundworks.com. The Phillies are back in action tonight after a dominant Game 1 against the Braves. Ranger Schwarber is on the mound for the Phillies, going up against Bryce Elder. Kyle Schwarber spoke about the team's mentality. Take a listen.
Just feel like we all buy into our group that, we're not worried about anyone else except ourselves.
We're under a week away from the Eagles season opener against Dallas at home. For the Birds, they don't have to worry about Micah Parsons, until week 10, as he was traded to the Packers for a couple of first-rounders. This update was also brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know you could save more money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. So, what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Haley Taylor Simon on your home of the best Birds coverage on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
12:56, 97.5 The Fanatic. A reminder, you're listening to WPEN and WPEN HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia. Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studios. Powering possibilities as we start the 1 o'clock hour. A lot of Phillies talk today, obviously, and rightfully so. It was a historic night last night down there.
What kind of game do you think I'm in for tonight, given the way it went down last night?
Well, Bryce Elder's a much better pitcher.
Yep.
But the Phillies have traditionally done fairly well against them. A lot lower scoring. Ranger Suarez, obviously for Suarez, I think this is a big start. He had a pretty good one the last time out, but I need to see a little. I need to see a little bit more of a consistent Ranger as we hit September, if I'm going to feel real confident this team can make a run. So,
September, God.
I know.
Tomorrow's my sister's birthday, August 30th.
Really?
Happy birthday.
She threw out a pitch the other day at the Phillies game.
Really?
I was very nervous for her. It was a fundraiser somehow for her school. And I don't know, a bunch of the kids, she's a principal at a grade school.
Right.
And they all voted for her to be the one to represent them.
Okay. That's cool.
And the Phillies were great. They sent me a photo because I wasn't there. I was still in Wisconsin.
Right.
They sent me photos of her and her husband and her throwing the pitch. It's so cool.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Have you ever thrown out a first pitch?
at a Trenton Thunder game, it was Courier Times night. And
did you wear a Thunder shirt or something?
I had to wear a Courier Times golf shirt.
Oh. I threw out one. Madison.
Don't ask me where that golf shirt
Why do you look
went.
upset about it?
I don't want to talk about it. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. When was the last time you picked up a golf club, by the way?
It's been a couple years. I still have to get the hernia surgery.
Oh.
I keep putting it off. Putting it off and putting it off.
I've had some problems with my rotator cuff, but cutting through it.
The Mets have the Marlins tonight. Mets lost last night, so the lead's back to 5. In reality, it's 4 because the Mets own the tiebreaker.
Yeah, the tiebreaker.
They are going to send a rookie out there in Jonah Tom, 22 years old. He'll make his major league debut for the Mets tonight. Yeah, the Mets are safely in as the third wild card at this point. It's a 4-game lead on the Reds. But I think people have to understand, too, the Mets here, as opposed to the Mets up there, it's night and day. Like, if you get the Mets here in a 3-game series, I would feel comfortable that the Phillies would win it. Or a 5-game series where you have home field advantage. But you want no parts of going back up there because it's pretty apparent that this team does not mesh well with that ballpark somehow. Which is ironic since they own the Mets for so long.
I mean, the bummer of that would be the storyline has to be that they've dropped 10 in a row up there.
Yeah.
Even though it shouldn't be the whole story, but
it is. And
it is.
And the one thing, and Haley, you and I talked about it a little bit on the chat yesterday. The thing that gets me is it is clear they're in their head. Like sometimes we go, oh, we're overthinking, we're looking too much. It does, guys in a sport that plays 162, they don't think that way. This team clearly did by the way they reacted all week.
Yeah.
Up there. That something was in between their ears.
Yeah.
And totally screwed them up.
Well, they need to get out of it. When you're thinking about the postseason, you can't say, oh, well, the Mets may not be an issue. The Mets may be an issue. And you have to figure it out.
I would doubt seriously that they'll end up playing the Mets up there.
But what if they do?
Well,
and that's a concern.
What if I won Powerball, though?
Well,
that would be awesome.
That would.
Yeah, then share it with us.
I don't think we're getting anything.
I don't think so either.
I mean, but no, the point is, I don't see that being I don't see it being an issue because this year, I will say one thing that is and why I kind of am down on the GM. And
I didn't know you were down on the GM.
I'm down on the GM.
Oh.
I'm not for, the Ron trade was fine and the Bader trade was fine, but there's an underlying problem here. And I think this goes to what we saw this week in New York. When you're as stale as this team has been roster-wise and not making moves in the offseason and all that, you're inviting what happened this week. You're inviting the here we go again mentality when one thing goes bad. And I think that's as much to blame as anything for what happened in New York. I think that the idea that they had lost poorly at the end of last year and obviously in the playoffs to the Mets, and they lost
poorly. It's a
poorly
different Mets team than what we're seeing right now.
It is, but to them, they don't know that.
Yeah, I got you.
And I think that, to me, tells me the GM didn't do his job, that they had to change something in that lineup coming into the year. Because if they did, I think this is not a race. You can make the argument it's not really a race now at 5. I mean, it's one where, because the Phillies had the Brewers, the Phillies had the Dodgers on the road, and you get the Mets for 4 more, you're not declaring it openly over. No. But it's going to take something substantial for the Mets to catch the Phillies. But this could have been done a lot easier if the Phillies had made some tweaks, what we talked about with the outfield. You know, they counted a lot on guys would just accelerate, and it didn't happen.
But they adjusted. Mixing and matching with 5 guys.
They adjusted, but they adjusted
later than you would have liked.
Late.
Yeah, I got it.
That should have been. Nobody could look at that playoff series last year against the Mets and not go, okay, you need to fix the bottom of the line. And you have to fix the approach that this team is taking in a lot of ways. And by the way, it also goes back, and it's going to drive my stepdaughter crazy because she loves him. I am tired of Alec Bohm. I am so done with Alec Bohm. I am tired of that thing on Monday night of him freaking out over the parabolic microphone that's 475 feet away and delaying the game for 13 minutes and icing his own pitcher for 13 minutes made no sense. And that kind of tells you his head is not where
it's supposed
to be.
Yeah.
And I'm just done with these little tantrums he throws. I'm done.
Do you think it bothers his teammates at all?
I think it does. I think it does. I think the fact that he had to get corrected by Harper last year bothered him. Yeah, and the thing is, he has a ton of talent. And you don't want to walk away from that talent. But there's something there that's missing. Not just the fact he's 6'5" and he can't hit home runs. There's a dynamic there that's not what necessary. And I rightfully admit, I'm probably in the minority on this. I'm just kind of ready to move on. You know, I don't. If he's going to take off, it's not going to happen here. You and I have talked about that sometimes with players.
Oh yeah,
through the years.
Change of scenery is a necessity,
and I think it's a necessity.
And it can be on
for
both
him.
sides.
Yeah. Problem is, they don't have anybody right now you feel super comfortable handing the keys over to either.
Yeah. Well, Jerry Jones didn't care about handing the keys over.
He just drove the car into the wall, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's a, I don't know. The mentality of this team of we'll be fine, we'll be fine, we'll be fine. Yes, a lot of people give that credit to Topper, and I understand that's why he's the front face of it. But it also comes from the GM's office, and that's a bigger problem because the GM has to distance himself from sentimentality and emotion. We heard Howie talk about that too, that they didn't want to get – the Eagles made sure they didn't get into that mode this year as well. Like, I'll say this. You know, we talked about Billy King earlier. Billy was not a sentimental guy. Billy was he was a riverboat gambler with some of his deals, but
Well, but if it went south, he could always get himself out of it.
Yeah, that's true.
He always found somebody to deal with.
Right.
Even if it was a bad contract or whatever. Somehow he always was
Found a
able.
way.
Yeah.
Hale, we have a Phillies text, you said?
Kev, we have a lot of texts.
Go.
This is the Phillies text. For Thompson and the Phillies discussion, I need to see a focused team over the next 3 games, too. It was awesome. 4 home runs from Schwarber and 20 hits, 19 runs. But we can't have 1 or 2 runs tonight or 5 or 6 hits tonight as well. We need to see the good version of this team and be consistent.
I will say Bryce Elder, by the way, 5-9 is 6.12. They're probably going to get more than 2 or 3 runs, I would think.
Yeah.
By
the way,
they're a minus 185 tonight, by the way.
Going back to Bohm and the parabolic mic. Did you see that SNY had people bring their creation of a parabolic
mic to
the next day? That is classic.
By the way, if you're wondering, the game tonight is on Apple TV.
Yeah.
When history beckons, it's on Apple TV.
I don't have Apple TV. Should I cave?
No.
No.
Well, tonight I don't have to worry about it because I'm going to the game.
Yeah. No.
No. And
unless you're like Ted Lasso.
I can do without.
No.
No?
No.
Well, you have to have Amazon now because of the
I have
NFL
it.
and the NBA.
I have Amazon.
Right.
Yeah. I got Amazon Prime in time for
Have
football
you
season.
gotten the ESPN one?
What's that one?
They've re-upped like ESPN Plus.
Wrestling is on it now.
Oh.
Well, I wasn't going for that.
Oh, well.
Well, I do have ESPN Plus because some of my basketball games that I call are on there.
Right.
Hockey.
And I like to go back and look at the work.
Yeah. Yeah.
The one I don't is whatever the golf channel is going to be. They split from NBC.
Right.
I don't know what it's called. It's
Yeah.
has a new name and it has the Premier League.
You don't have Peacock?
I have Peacock, but this is different. The golf channel will be separate from Peacock, NBC Sports.
Okay.
It'll be a separate entity. I don't know what it's called. And it will have the golf channel, Premier League, WNBA. I'm missing one.
Well, they'll also have
Some kind of
probably the U.S. Open as well in there too.
but no, one part of the cars. I don't know if it's Formula One or
NASCAR. They have a NASCAR.
They have NASCAR. All right.
Contract.
So, but those 4 or 5 sports will be on this other thing.
I have too many. I do. I have Paramount Plus. I got all of them, and it feels like it's just overwhelming. So, when we come back, we'll continue talking birds. We'll switch to the birds right now, and we'll do the immortal game that drives everybody crazy. Plus minus. Wins, losses. How do you feel? What is the ceiling this team can hit? I'm Kevin Cooney along with D-Line, and we're in for Ray Dunn today on the Midday Show on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Philadelphia Union Soccer.
Well, the Birds have put out their first unofficial depth chart of the season. Everybody is in line on the offense of what you would think. Landon Dickerson is listed at left guard, which means they probably expect him to play. First injury report will come out, I believe, on Sunday. The defense is where I find the interesting part here. Cornerback Adoree Jackson and Ja'Cory Bennett are listed as co-1s.
Yeah.
On the other side of Quinyon Mitchell. Sidney Brown and Andrew Makuba are listed as combined as the second safety next to Reed Blankenship. The interesting one for me, linebacker, Jahad Campbell and Jeremiah Trotter listed as 1 and 1A, if you will, right now as well. So I would have assumed Campbell would have had the job at this point, and maybe it is. Maybe they're trying to throw the Cowboys off the scent, but it's a little interesting.
Well, earlier when we were talking about depth, this has changed since we first started at 10.
Yeah.
They've rearranged it.
Yes.
Because Keeley was 1A.
Right.
And now he's behind Mitchell.
Right. Yeah, and we should point out this is on the...
Bennett slid in under Dory.
This is on the
Eagles.
On the Eagles' unofficial communication. The communications department does it as part of their media guide and everything. Also, if you are looking for a hint on special teams, Cooper DeJean and Jahan Dotson for punt returns. Will Shipley and A.J. Dillon for kick returns. So some of the questions we've had this week, Cooper DeJean is not somebody that, Vic Fangio has said he doesn't want him returning punts.
Yeah, but they have
as of
him
right
there.
now, they have him listed as the guy returning punts. I don't know if they want to necessarily have Dotson do it either, because I don't know how much Jahan Dotson's returned punts in his life. So it'll be
interesting.
This is going to be a little bit of a work in progress here. If you're also interested on the edge, Nolan Smith on one edge, Alex Hunt on the other, and they have Uche and Ojolari as their backups. So just on the depth chart as we move forward, John Mechie is listed as the backup right now for Devontae Smith, Darius Cooper for A.J. Brown. Whether that's meaningful or not, or just listing guys in order, remains to be seen. So a reminder, check out the Fanatics Deal of the Week. Get a $50 gift card to the Jug Handle Inn for just $25. Enjoy their famous wings, burgers, drink specials, live music, and more at the Jug Handle Inn in Cinnaminson, right not that far from the Tacony Palmyra Bridge. Get this exclusive offer while supplies last at 975thefanatic.com/deals.
Now you sound like you've been to that place.
Yes.
Oh.
Pass it if you're on 73. Pass it a lot, which when I go down the shore, when I go to down that way to shop, I'll get the Jug Handle wings sometimes on the way back as well. So
I like it.
Yeah. Nothing like it is football season. And you can tell like I am pumped for football season. I'm pumped for this weekend with the return of college football. I'm going to spare you the fight
Did you
song.
do that or did Haley?
I did that.
Of course he did
It's
that.
on my board. Which I will make an argument is one of the 5 best sports themes there is in American television.
I don't have a board.
You got to get a board.
Does yours say your name on it?
Actually, I just took Alfred's.
Oh.
I do have one, but I kind of went, I like Tom's better.
And it's funny, Kev, because I use Tom's as well.
Wait a minute. What's the color scheme? Because there's blue, green, red, yellow.
Blue is usually like Sixers stuff. Green for Eagles.
Oh, I see it now.
Light blue is random ones, like this one.
I don't really care.
Yeah, Chip. There's also other stuff there. Hold on. Here's one.
Cooper DeJean is not a safety.
That person.
That was actually Brendan put that on for me. Because I love that.
You like
YouTube
that song?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah. And there's also the Notre Dame theme song in there, but the fight song, but I'm not going to subject you to that. Because I know it'll make everybody mad.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, somebody likes Notre Dame and not Penn State.
No.
You're not a college football.
No.
You're not a college football fan, correct? Except for the Bruins, obviously.
It's more just because I'm not going to sit inside on a great fall day to watch college football. I'd rather be outside on a golf course.
The good part is, though, there's college football literally from the time you wake up on a Saturday morning until way after.
It doesn't mean I don't read about it.
No, I know.
I prefer to read about it as opposed to sit in front of the tube.
Like I am a college football junkie. Like I will watch tomorrow I will find a way to watch part of Texas and Ohio State. Because that's 1 versus 3. What was you're doing the
I'm pointing to the camera with my horns down.
Why? You want Ohio State to win that game?
Yeah, over Texas.
What did Texas ever do? Oh, you're West Virginia.
Yeah, come on, Kevin. What did Texas ever do?
Do they still play football in West Virginia?
I'm not answering that.
Is Don Nealon still a head coach?
No. Listen, the state of West Virginia football is not good.
No kidding.
Yeah, not good.
Not kidding. Look, it's a big year. I will say one thing. This will be the college football minute here for us. Okay? James Franklin, you better beat Ohio State this year. Because if you don't, that fan base is fed up to here. I know they went to the semifinal last year and all that, but if you can't beat Ohio State and you can't beat Michigan, you can't be the head coach of Penn State much longer. You can't.
What's his record in his time against those two?
Not good. Not good at all. I'm going to look that up.
I'll look it up.
I mean, it's a constant issue, you know?
Ooh, it's bad.
It's really bad.
It's really, really bad.
And the one game they did win was on a blocked field goal run back for a touchdown the other way. Like, James is a great recruiter. He is. He's one of the best recruiters in the sport. But what's John's line about Rob Thompson? He couldn't out-strategize a Connect 4 game? Like, pretty much that on James Franklin. So, he has a great quarterback this year in Drew Allen. Be interesting to see where it goes. By the way, Gil is also texting me about WVU and laying off West Virginia.
That's my guy, Mike Gill. 2 West Virginia alumni.
Couch burning.
Be nice. Be nice.
Have you spent, Dee, have you ever spent time in Morgantown?
No.
You're lucky.
I was going to say she's missing out.
No.
Dee would. There's so much basketball history in Morgantown.
Yeah, there is.
Dee would like it.
Morgantown's
beautiful golf courses all over.
Morgantown's not exactly a hotbed of social life, though.
Hey.
If you're not a co-ed.
They don't. Franklin, I can only see how he's done against top 25 teams. Where'd you see?
Hold on here. What was his top 25 record? It's not good either.
Oh, here we go. What has made Franklin's woes in these matchups more worrisome is many of those losses have come against Ohio State and Michigan, the 2 teams against which Penn State is regularly vying for conference championships.
13-25 against AP top 25. Franklin was. He's 3-17 against top 10.
He's 4-16 against Ohio State and Michigan, with a 1-9 record against the Buckeyes and a 3-7 mark against the Wolverines. There you go, 4-16.
4-16
in 10 years.
I want to shout out the YouTube chat.
Yeah.
Who has now taken it upon themselves to compare small towns in Pennsylvania to Morgantown, saying that Lansdale is better, Reading is better.
Yeah, I got to go with that.
But for college, it's fun.
Well, yeah, so's
to visit.
So's Bloomsburg. Would you want to?
I've never been to Bloomsburg.
I'll go to Westwood any day.
Yeah, she tops us all on all that.
Yeah, D's is the best. You
Mine-
can't compete with that.
No, mine's Drexel.
Go Dragons.
Yeah. 610-632-0975. Here's Haley with an update. 975 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Will the Bats stay alive for Game 2? I'm Haley Taylor Simon with your Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies are back in action tonight after a dominant Game 1 against the Braves. Ranger Schwarber is on the mound for the Phils going up against Bryce Elder. Kyle Schwarber spoke about the team's mentality. Take a listen to what Schwarber had to say.
Just feel like we all buy into our group that, we're not worried about anyone else except ourselves.
We're under a week away from the Eagles' season opener at home against Dallas. For the Birds, they don't have to worry about Micah Parsons until Week 10 as he was traded to the Packers. This update was also brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. Looking for an exceptional driving experience? Experience the power, precision, and intelligence of an iconic Mercedes-Benz SUV at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer today. I'm Haley Taylor Simon on your home of the best Birds coverage on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
128, 97.5, The Fanatic. I'm Kevin Cooney. Thanks for joining us on this edition of the Midday Show. Reminder, Ray is back on Tuesday. We're here on Monday for Labor Day, which used to be my least favorite holiday.
Because it's the end of summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
End of school, or beginning back to school. I don't mind it now as much. And plus, everybody goes back beforehand anyway.
It's so true.
But next Thursday is going to be huge. Obviously, when you look at the live broadcast that we're going to have down there for the Unfiltered down at Chicky and Pete's from 2 to 6 in South Philly. But it's huge because, obviously, it's another banner. It's the second banner being dropped for the Eagles. It's the Cowboys, which is always the biggest week in this town. Whether it should be or not is a question of debate, but it is. And it starts a legitimate shot for this team to repeat. And I think the one thing at this time of year, it's always good. And we worked in a business for a long time where we've worked in a business for a long time where you had to make those predictions before a season of how things go and all that. So give me your vision of what you see for the 2025 Eagles as we head into.
Meaning, not game by game.
No, but like an overall record, how you may see trend lines going through the year or whatever. Because I got a couple of thoughts, I think.
I think that it will be difficult for Saquon to be the same as he was a year ago. I just think that's duplicating that. I think he'll have a fine year. But I don't think it will be to the same tune. I mean, I think without going through game by game, I mean, they're at least a 12-win team.
And I would agree with that. I would say that at the beginning of the schedule, those first 4 games of Dallas, at Kansas City, the Rams back here, and at Tampa.
It's tough. That's tough.
That's a real tough, especially because they don't play well at Tampa at all.
Ever.
Never.
Yeah.
But then after that, like, I'm not totally sold on Denver. I'm not, I'm not sold on the Vikings. They get a stretch there in the middle where I think they'll get really hot. And I do think some of that momentum carries over. The Green Bay game now is the biggest game on their schedule. At Green Bay on a Monday night. ESPN lucked out because now with Parsons there.
Oh, my God. That becomes.
Green Bay is the biggest game of the year for the long-term ramifications. You could say Detroit, which is the following week. I'm actually worried about that Detroit game because it is a short week. You get the Monday night game at Lambeau. You have to fly back, and then you get Detroit. But then the rest of the schedule after that, it's until the final 2 weeks. They got Buffalo in late December, which is never good. But I think they're a 12-win team. I think that's fair. And if they get out of these first 4 weeks 3-1 somehow, they could be a 14-win team very easily.
They could go 2-2 though.
Oh, they could. I don't see them going 1-3.
No,
I see 2-2 is the most likely.
I also don't like that you see Washington twice in 3 weeks at the end.
Yeah, but that last one might not matter.
That's true. That's a good.
And
point.
I think Washington's going to take a step back. I do. They have the same
You're right.
schedule.
That last one probably doesn't matter.
No. They have the same schedule as the Eagles. And they're just not as good as the Eagles, talent-wise. You can make an argument Daniels is the wild card and all that. They don't have the same personnel the Eagles do. They don't have the offensive line. They don't have their defense is relying on a very old Bobby Wagner. And Frankie Louvu was very good, but I don't know who's rushing from the edge. And I think the McLaurin thing just gives you a vibe that this team's a little bit in flux, if you will, going forward here.
When is their bye week? Last year it was week 5, wasn't it?
Who, the Eagles?
Yeah.
It was week 5. Yeah. This year it's week 9.
9. Because I remember everybody was like, "Oh, I hate that it's week 5."
It
But
turned
then
out
it
to be a
turned out to
blessing.
be the best thing that happened to them.
And it's one of those things where you go, all right, well, that's a lot of weeks after the bye at that point, but they had so much momentum.
Yep.
After it came at the absolute right time. You're right. And, they're better. They're better than just about everybody they're going to play the rest of the year. By the way, the Commanders, week 12 bye, which is almost too late.
Yeah, right?
They get Thanksgiving week off. So, well, not Thanksgiving week. It's the week before Thanksgiving. But, look, the Commanders get week 2. The Commanders get a short week. They go to Lambeau on a Thursday night, which will be, I assume that's Micah's, debut up there.
Why? Because the Packers open up on the road?
Packers, I believe, open up in Chicago.
Which, by the way,
no, they open in Detroit. Excuse me. Or they open against Detroit. Excuse me. I thought they were in Chicago for some reason. Yeah, that's the 4:25 game on next Sunday.
Yeah.
That's pretty good right out of the gate.
That's really good right out of the gate.
But yeah, they have to go to the Chargers just like the Eagles. They got to go to Kansas City just like the Eagles. They got to go to Minnesota just like the Eagles. So yeah, they got a challenge as well. It's not going to be an easy run for them. They get Atlanta. That's one of the main differences. They get Atlanta on the road as opposed to what the Eagles will get. And they get the Chargers as opposed to
the Eagles have the Chargers, don't they?
Oh, yeah. Trying to remember. The Eagles get Buffalo.
Yes.
And they get Miami. Miami, by the way, who had another – Miami had a coach, their offensive line coach got arrested for battery this morning. I just saw that on Twitter during the break.
Battery?
Like assault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No. They're a mess. You want to talk about franchises that are a mess? That's a mess, That's a real mess is what the Dolphins, we talked about the Cowboys and everything. The Cowboys are a mess. The Dolphins feel like they are just right now a complete disaster,
I wonder what the people think Dallas wins their team will have.
Brian Crow is the outside linebacker coach.
Oh.
Brian Crow, domestic battery charge, placed on administrative leave, effective immediately.
You have to.
Witnesses accused of shoving a family member and looking like he was about to perform a takedown. Witnesses said the victim's feet were off the ground and Crow had his arm around the person.
Yeah.
Like one of Haley's wrestlers.
Oh.
Yeah.
They wouldn't do that in the WWE.
No. Anyway, when we come back, there's an Allen Iverson text we'll get to. We'll wrap up the show and we'll talk about Labor Day weekend and some of the stuff we love about Labor Day weekend. I do miss that there's no real golf this weekend either on television.
Tommy Fleetwood last week, though.
Yeah. So, we'll be back after this on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Philly fans, you are the best sport.
Welcome back. 97.5 The Fanatic, final segment for us on the middays. Thank you to all of our YouTube friends who have hung out with us all afternoon and all morning. We're back here on Monday. I don't know if we'll have YouTube on Monday. I hope we do.
We will not have YouTube on.
No? Okay.
No.
All right.
But they can text in.
Yeah, text in and, all that. D is back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And then D literally has no weekend here. Well, yeah. You have today.
Yes. And I just remember I have to run an errand before I go to the Phillies. So I was part of a wine tasting, I don't know, like a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago. And I bought from some of these small vineyards, and my wine is in. So I have to go pick it up. Isn't that kind of fun?
I got to pick a 6-pack of Yingling probably for myself for when I... What?
To address D, yes, that is fun.
Yes.
She just told you something kind of cool that she's excited
It
about.
is. I'm glad for her.
Small vineyards.
Yeah.
Like, not going into the...
I'm not a wine person.
I know you're not. That's why I always bring
I'm not really a beer person either. I just kind of keep it there in case like the urge strikes me at home.
I'm a big Diet Coke person.
I'm Coke Zero. I actually have a full fridge at school filled with Coke Zero.
Just like Ricky Bo.
What? He's a Coke Zero guy?
Yeah, he used to be Diet
I love
Coke.
Ricky. I love Ricky. I always knew I liked Ricky.
The Coke Zeros.
The Coke Zeros. No? Hey. I also got a microwave in my room, right? So I got a new room this year. You'll love this day, okay?
You have a microwave in your classroom?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Right behind my desk.
Interesting.
You'll love this. So I got a smaller room this year because I'm teaching a different class, right?
Okay.
So I put all my stuff up. I put like the panoramic of like the World Series Game 5, panoramic of the Super Bowl, both Super Bowls. I got those pictures. You go to Rally House and you get those type of things, right? There's one picture I can't because my room is too small. I can't put my Springsteen poster up. And I'm torn because I've run out of room. I'm torn what to do.
You're a grown man putting up posters?
Yes.
Kevin, no.
Yes. I want it to be a comfortable atmosphere for my students.
Well, some 70-year-old man on the wall is not making it comfortable for them.
Do they even know who he is?
Yes, they do. Okay. Because I play it in the room when they're like doing independent work. I put music on. I'll sometimes put their music on, but I'll also put Springsteen or I'll put like Pearl Jam or something like that. Well, don't shake your head at me.
No, this reminds me of my one math teacher, Miss Van Buskirk. She used to put on Bon Jovi every day when we would do our independent work.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, but it is funny, though, because I guess it's a teacher thing. I didn't know that.
I actually have gotten a couple kids hooked on the 80s music.
I mean, I will say, like, I remember my sister when she was still teaching. Obviously, now she's a principal. She would always go the week before and decorate the room.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and I have, like, educational stuff on the walls, too. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm a fifth grader. Yeah, like I'm like a 16-year-old, like, teenager's room, Yeah. That look of D just giving me of, like, I don't want to know what was I will say, I got the kids hooked. I had YouTube music on one day. Okay, because I'm on YouTube chat, obviously, with the shows and everything, but I put music on the one day during a break or something. One of my first crushes was Olivia Newton-John. Okay?
She was hot in Grease.
Yes. And the song that came up was Hopelessly Devoted to You.
Her and John Travolta.
Oh, I know that because of TikTok.
I got my kids singing it. A couple girls in my classroom are now singing that song.
Really?
Like, they love it. They also love Tears for Fears. Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
Oh, that's a good one, too.
Huh.
Did you find that on Instagram or something, or what?
TikTok.
Isn't it banned?
No. I mean, it was banned for like 12 hours, but no.
You have a TikTok account?
I do.
I don't.
Oh, I thought you were about to create one.
I was. And then I don't know what happened.
So you're not missing much. But I think it's kind of a good thing that all these songs from the 80s, 90s get resurfaced again.
And resurfaced.
And people
I agree with
appreciate
that.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Positive.
Yes.
But Hallie, I did learn how to edit and shoot
on your phone.
Vertical. No, I mean, yeah, I do it on my phone. But everything I normally do is horizontal.
Right.
But if you want it to be good on Instagram, it is better if it's vertical. But then I got to double shoot everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I put them up.
Yep.
So, but I was really good I did this one project, and I spent half of my shooting day in vertical and the other half in horizontal.
I will admit,
a lot of work.
As much as I love social media, you know how we talk about there's too many streaming services? There's too many of these social media platforms now. There is. Like I do Facebook, which I know is the old man and the old person thing at this point in a lot of minds.
The one thing that I will say about Facebook, it does seem to keep different generations connected.
That is true.
I love Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm on Twitter /X, whatever you want to call it. And I did a couple for Instagram. But that's it. Like I'm not TikToking. As proof that I probably just said something that made you hysterically laugh because it sounds really old and
It's the way that you said it, and like I can't even imagine actually Kevin doing like one of those TikTok dances.
They tried to get me to do that in school last year.
How much time they Kevin Bacon and his wife do them all the time.
Kira Sedgwick?
Yeah. You've seen them, right, Hallie? They dance all the time.
Yeah, I've seen it. I love Twitter though.
Yeah, I can tell.
I like to tweet.
I can tell.
Well,
you're the only one in this building who probably tweets more than I do.
Well, okay.
No, I'm just saying. You are. That's not bad. It's just, I've cut back a lot, actually.
I've actually cut back substantially. I used to tweet a lot on my old account.
I only tweet when I'm at a game.
If I'm watching a game or something. Like the other night I tweeted with the Phillies Mets. I kind of...
Oh, you're one of those.
No, now, I'll defend myself. I normally can be very... I think with the Phillies and with baseball, I am very, matter of fact, big picture, 162. Haley will tell you, I lost it the other night. Because I felt on Wednesday night there was no fight in that team.
He did. Tell the tweet. It was a great tweet, Kev.
I said start a brawl.
Oh, yeah.
Because at that point, nothing else was working for them. Go start a brawl. And I had people, that's a Neanderthal thinking. But nothing else
was happening. Yep.
And there are sometimes you have to do that to change momentum. And they would have been better off doing that than what eventually happened.
Who would have been the guy to start it?
Probably Casty.
That's what I was thinking.
I got Casty as the guy.
Was he in that game?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was. Casty or I would say Schwarber, but no.
Nah, I don't think so.
You know what? Stop.
Oh, I could see that.
Alec Boehm.
No.
He's too busy whining.
No, but that's what would start the brawl. Boom would be whining.
They did, and by the way, and Neil Dever mentioned this on the chat. They did feel like it hit like 75 Mets during this, but they hit them all with curveballs. Like seriously, like nobody got plunked with a fastball, and nobody got plunked above the belt, which is the sign that hey, let's fight. Is that you usually hit them in the ribs or the shoulder or something. That didn't happen, but I feel like L.A. does that constantly. Larry Anderson on the radio broadcast is constantly talking about the fact that somebody has to go inside, crowd the plate, knock them off the plate and such. So,
we never got to the Iverson text.
Yes, the Iverson text. There you go, Hill.
All right, Dee. So let me go bring this up. So this is from Eric from Malvern, and I knew that Dee would like this one. Game 1 of the 2001 NBA Finals with the Iverson step over.
But I brought up Game 1.
Yeah, she did bring up
I did
Game
bring
1.
up that as one of my favorite in-person experiences.
Yeah. Like I said, the Halliday one for me, 4 no-hitters for me, and I felt jealous of people who were there last night. Colarulo was there last night. And I felt jealous of anybody who got to sit, because that's one thing I've not seen is the 4 homers in one game.
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
you've seen a lot.
Just wait 5 more minutes apparently in this sport this year.
Yeah.
What was that? I saw the 4 no-hitters.
Yeah, you saw a lot.
Yeah. Did not see a perfect game yet. Like I said, because of stupid hockey.
I was going to say something defending hockey, but I can't on this one. I would have much rather.
It was Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it ate into our travel budget.
I was there.
And then when you know the
it was
outcome.
for the wrong reasons, but all my friends were working, and I was at the game where the Blackhawks beat the Flyers.
Game 6?
Game 6. And you're not going to believe this. I got to drink out of the cup.
How the hell did that happen?
Because they all...
Were so drunk?
No. They were my friends.
No, I'm talking... Oh, I thought you meant the Blackhawks were, like, so drunk they're just handing it around to random people.
So they were all working.
Right.
And the big wigs of their station.
Right.
The cup eventually made its way to their...
At Comcast Sports Center Chicago, I'm
suite.
assuming?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got screamed at when I tried to touch the cup.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
I love that tradition of where
it was that
people,
30th. It was that
people
30th,
take it to their hometowns.
Oh, it's so cool.
It was at 30th Street Station for like a public visit, and I reached over and I basically was like trying to touch, like,
I went up to John LeClaire's hometown and did a story about when he brought the cup. I guess his was when he was with Montreal. And all these people had...
we know where it wasn't from.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
Not Philadelphia.
Were those his only... He had one other stop, didn't he?
Pittsburgh. Was he Pittsburgh or Boston?
I believe it was Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
They all go to Pittsburgh at some point. Him, Recky.
Yep.
All of them.
All.
We're just about out of time. A reminder, stay tuned. Unfiltered with Bill Colarulo, Andrew DeCecco. They're coming up next. We're back here all weekend. Dee is literally here all weekend.
I better set my alarm. I'll be here tomorrow morning.
I'm here on Sunday, 9 to noon. And then we're here on Monday, 10 to 12:30, taking into Tigers from our friends.
That's kind of cool.
At the Worldwide Leader. Yeah, we've hit pennant race. Labor Day Monday hits, it's pennant race time.
Yep.
And it'll be interesting to see where the Phillies stand after this weekend before they go to Milwaukee.
That'll be September.
Milwaukee is interesting because it's a broken up series. There's an off day on Tuesday in the middle between Monday and Wednesday because of a Players Association like contractual thing. So that's it for us. Reminder to keep an eye out and keep it right here for Unfiltered. They're coming up next. We'll have a great weekend, everybody. We'll talk to you over on Monday.
Now,